Hey, Umar, where's the school you promised?
And Umar, where's the school you promised?
Hey Umar, where's the school you promised us?
We're still waiting.
For that school.
Hey Umar, where is the school you promised us?
Where's the school? Is the school gonna open, Umar?
Where's the school? Is the school gonna open, Umar?
Wait, you think I'm playing? Y'all hear that? Where's the school? They're still out there. Oh, good garbage, great. What am I gonna do? I tricked off all that money. Think. I tell them we applied for our certificate of occupancy, but the city turned us down. Yeah.
All right, thank you guys so much for tuning on in. We got quite a bit to get into. Umar has me going overtime. We're gonna have to get together tomorrow. New video dropped yesterday. Quick right there, let's go.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's 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 coming. Oh, it's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. Thought his personality be twerking. It's twerking.
All right, what's up, Ray? Thanks for tuning on in. Afro Punk's in the building, the techie group as well. Kari, Afro Punk Queendom, Crystal, Kyrie. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. We got a lot to get into, so I'm going to try to limit my commentary here. Okay. I just put up a poll. I forgot to put up a poll question. The poll question is, are you surprised Umar is back in his mama's closet? He did a live stream yesterday, and yeah, he's back inside his mama's closet. The thing is that it doesn't matter how much money Umar Johnson scams out of people, he always ends back right where he began. And that's the big telltale with these scammers types. If your life doesn't improve, if you're right back where you started or worse after you do all these shenanigans, then something's wrong. Umar hasn't realized that quite yet. So he's back inside of his mama closet. He did a live stream yesterday, and we're going to get into that. I was planning on having, we're going to get into a new video footage of these abandoned buildings, but we're going to table that either for tomorrow or we'll have to do it on Monday, depending on how much we get through on this video. Because I'm trying to stay on track with keeping up with what Umar is doing. He does this from time to time. He'll do a whole bunch of stuff, and then I get behind, and I have to kind of try to fight to get caught back up. I wonder if he does it on purpose. So anyway, we will be back tomorrow, too, with another live stream. And I apologize for the delay. I just couldn't get back home, and I already knew because traffic was really bad. I knew I was going to be able to get back here in time to start at our scheduled time. So I want to apologize for that. I didn't even have time to shave. You know, I took a shower, and here I am. Okay, so hopefully people don't clown me on how I look today. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you guys again for tuning on in. So there's been a lot going on with Umar recently. We've been covering these different videos. We had a fantastic time yesterday, fantastic time on Monday. And today we're going to get into the video where Umar is inside of his mama's closet. And there's plenty more because I still have a video of Umar where he was interviewed by Father David last week. I've already edited that down. It's just a matter of finding the time to get to it. And then I also have a video of Umar where he's at a college and he was like a sit-down interview type of thing. And if I can get the audio to sound good enough in that video, we'll cover that too at some point. So we got a lot ahead of us. Hopefully Umar, he'll stop live streaming for a couple of days or a week or so we can get caught up. Okay. Thank you guys again for tuning on. And there were some super chats, early super chats. Also, let me just thank everyone. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to these live streams. Thanks for the energy. We have a really good time. It's a lot of fun. I laugh a lot. Thanks for all the support, people sending in super chats and super stickers. I really do appreciate it, and I don't take it for granted. Okay, I'm a blessed man, and I really do appreciate the spirit of appreciation. Stay humble, and what was it? Stay humble, have the spirit of appreciation, and Lord give, Lord take it. So always be appreciative of what you have, because you never know. Okay, so and I'm appreciative that I have y'all here, and thank you guys again for tuning on. Everyone in Cook Chat, thanks to the mods too as well. So CJ says this was too easy. Tonight's game, take a drink every time Lenon says Mama's closet. Yeah, I'm probably going to be. I don't know why you spelled it that way, CJ, but I will probably be referring to the Mama closet quite a few times during this live stream. I mean, let's just think about this for a moment. This is a guy, Umar, he's 51. He has allegedly, he says he has 6 degrees. He has 5, and it's a great accomplishment to have 5, but he exaggerates. It's the narcissism. He's weaponized his degrees against people. Like this lady, Bryant, doctor, a so-called doctor, Shireen Bryant, or whatever her name is. She does the same thing. I saw a clip when she was on the Breakfast Club. They just put a clip up there, and I was listening. I said, hey, she sounds like Umar to me. I was like, maybe I should investigate, look into. I said, I ain't got time for it. If I had the time, boy, that'd be wild. But what happens is you have these charlatans, and they go online and they weaponize their degrees against people. They weaponize their certifications, their license. They weaponize it against, because they use it as leverage so that Black people will see them as if there's some authority figure. Umar's been doing that for decades, and Umar was claiming to have he was claiming to be a doctor prior to him even getting his PsyD. I talk about that inside of the documentary. So let's be clear about this. It's unfortunate, because there are a lot of Black people who they look at these types of charlatans online, but then there are real Black people out there, true professionals who have licenses, certifications, different degrees, so forth and so on, who are practicing professionally, who can offer legitimate psychological services, mental health services, whatever the case may be, right? But then you have charlatans like Umar, who parade online and pretend to be these things. He's not a school psychologist. He's not a therapist. He's not a psychotherapist. He's not a child therapist. He's not a family therapist. I've heard him say all of these things. So he's weaponized his degrees against people. So how is it possible that this person, who is supposed to be this great Black leader and the greatest school psychologist and psychologist of our time, but he stays inside of his mama closet and he live streams in his mama closet at 51, living off of his mama. He ain't taking care of his mama. He's living off of her. What kind of man at 51? Same thing with the Bryant lady. Okay, she got all this relationship advice. Okay, where's your husband at, ma'am? Don't make me get started. She was on there, well, you know, I do this and I do that and I have this. That sounds like Umar. You question them, they don't answer directly. Watch out for that. They don't answer directly. They start talking about their accolades and what they accomplished, and I'm pretty. They ain't got nothing to do with that. What you talking about? Ain't nobody asking how you think you look, ma'am. Anyway, I don't mean to be like that. Take the makeup off then. See, same tactics, same with Umar, same tactics, but they always end back up where they started. And Umar's back in his mama closet. I don't know if the lady, if she stay in the mama closet, I don't know if she does. That's her business. Anyway, let's get into it. Thanks, CJ. CJ says, what do you think of Mother's Day weekend was like at the Shoemake house? A good question. Also, a happy belated Mother's Day to Miss On. Thank you so much, and all the moms in the chat. Yeah, I was negligent. I forgot to say Happy Mother's Day because I didn't live stream on Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there, or the mamas that soon to be. And thank you for asking. Thanks for the question, but also thanks for the kind words. Wishing my wife a happy Mother's Day. So, yeah, Mother's Day for Umar. You know, it's interesting because on one hand, he has his mother, but it's more of an enmeshment issue. It's more about control and power. So I don't see how that can translate into like a positive Mother's Day type of experience. Because you look at how when Umar comes back online recently, he's all upset and angry. You guys notice that? He's real upset and angry right now. Okay, well then Mother's Day, why aren't you happy? But you guys think about this. He has baby mamas out there. At least 3 in Philadelphia alone. He only claims 2. I know I said I have the paperwork too. The third one, he impregnated. Yeah, I think it's the third one. He impregnated when he was in his 40s, early 40s, and she was in her early 20s. And then this year, a young lady came out and alleged that she was intimate with Umar, and he had her taking care of his mama, and she provided all the receipts anyone would need to see, including video footage. One of the videos, I said they shouldn't even have that online, real talk, of the mama. But she alleges that they were intimate. Well, that would mean, and I believe it, okay, but that would mean that she was in her early 20s and he was 50, 51. So the CJ, what I'm getting at is that because of Umar's sexual promiscuity that's been going on for decades now, and he's leveraged and he's weaponized his status as a internet celebrity, if you will, or influencer, to smash, including young ladies who are in their early 20s. What kind of man? But the point I want to make here is, think about this. He has all these baby mamas out there. I'll propose he has more than the 3 just in Philadelphia. It's highly likely. Okay, it's extremely likely. It's extremely probable. But can you imagine what it must be like for Umar on Mother's Day, wherein he's been so deviant and disrespectful and just horrible towards his baby mamas online? They ain't done nothing to him. Last year, he went off. He went off as he was in the mama closet then with the WWE WWF belt on, just ranting and raging, the evil vegan. Y'all remember this? Hit the one. Evil vegan and what was the other one? The mama Smurf. And he was going in on his daughter. Horrible. So I think Mother's Day is just not good for Umar, because, you know, if you're a real man, and let's say you have a wife or you got a mama or whatever, Mother's Day is going to be a good thing, assuming that the relationship is good. And, you know, they done you right, you done did them right? Not Umar. Think about the baby mamas. See, Umar has to reflect on that. He got all these baby mamas, and Mother's Day, what does he have? He go back to his mama closet. At 51. That's what I'm saying. These types of individuals, these charlatans, poor character, they're online for a reason, and their personal life is a bunch of bull jive. That's what I think. Now, another question real quick. We're gonna move on, CJ. It just came to mind. What about his daughter? I wonder if Umar reached out to her, or if she reached out to him, or any of that kind of stuff. Because sometimes what happens in family dynamics, when it's a Mother's Day, you have family communicating with each other, right? My daughter was like, yeah, let's go get her this and let's go get her that. And that. I said, you just want that for yourself, don't you? She said, no, I want to get it for mama. I said, okay. You see, so there's this communication that goes on when you have a family unit, but Umar doesn't have it. See, Umar's created many broken homes. And that's why, in part, this guy doesn't have a leg to stand on. Do you guys know, real quick, I sent this to, shout out to James. I sent this to James. Umar had another child support entry. I can't remember what the date was. James, you remember what that date was? I'm not going to show it, but let me see right quick. Because he still be lying to people talking about, yeah, you know, I pay my child support on time. No, you don't. You need to stop. Yeah, it's not coming up. I have it. I'd sent the, actually, let me see if I have it in my downloads folder real quick. Yeah, here it go right here. All right, so just real quick, y'all. Again, Mother's Day. He's still getting entries on his docket for his second child. You think that's the second child? I would have to don't quote me on that, because I have to pull that. No, it's I don't know if it's the second or third, but the point is I would have to pull up my timeline to tell you guys exactly. So I apologize. Matter of fact, let me do it because I want to be actual factual. But anyway, on this docket, he has entries from the beginning, but more recently, hold on one second. Yeah, this would be his third baby mama. So this is the third child I'm talking about. All right. So the third baby mama, is that right? Hold on one second. Yeah. Nope, that's not right. This would be his second one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the second baby mama. So from the beginning, okay, and I'll just give in and around 2010. I'll just say it that way. Okay, just because I don't want to give out too much information. No, not on this child. He wasn't from the beginning. He's put on child support for this baby mama several years after the child is born. I just say that because I don't want to give too much information. But and this would go back to in and around 2014. I'll say that. Okay, but guess what? And then he has docket entries all the way through up until current. So he in 2024 modification petition, plaintiff attorney filed, and at the end of 2024, this is December 12th of 2024, order to appear at a mod conference. Umar was complaining about that too because they increased the amount that he had to pay. December 12th, 2024, same thing, and then January 24th of 2025, interim order in effect, conference officer. December 9th of 2025, a bench warrant issued against the defendant, which would be Umar. And then December 18th, 2025, order to vacate bench warrant against the defendant issued. And this happens over and over again. They call him in, because he ain't paying. And so he comes in, they get a bench warrant, they bring him in, or he comes in, he pays it, and then the order to vacate the bench warrant is issued. And then on March 11th of 2026, miscellaneous docketing text. And I'm not quite sure what that is, but the point is that he's still operating within the system and he's not paying child support on time. So the reason I'm bringing this up to tie this back to the Mother's Day, even if the relationship with a baby mama doesn't work out, you should, in Umar's case, by this time, he should have worked things out well enough to where he can have a functional relationship. When I say functional relationship, I'm talking about co-parenting with these baby mamas, but he doesn't have that. Okay. So again, Mother's Day in the Shoemake household, if you will, it's got to be just dysfunctional, extremely dysfunctional. Okay. Thanks, CJ. Daxter sent in a super sticker, says at work now, man jaw fouls alert. all right. Have a good work. What in the world? Man jaw fouls alert. All right. Thanks, Daxter. Have a good time at work too. Okay. Michael says, I love me some mama closet. Yeah, we always come back to this. It doesn't matter where Umar talking about, where he goes, what he does. We always end up back in his mama closet, 51. Yeah. And see, it'd be different if he was really caring about her. He really cared about his mama and he took good care of her, but that's not what's happening. He's using randoms to come through to take care of his mama while he's operating. He was the video before that, he was out at a park in Philadelphia. Someone told me the exact park I can't remember what the park is, but they knew because they can tell from the background and the skyscrapers behind him. Thanks, Michael. Hope you're doing all right. Afropunk says, I'm not smashed anymore, Lenon. It's cracking now. What are you talking about? It's not smashed anymore. Oh, okay, I got you. It's not smashed anymore, Lenon. It's cracking. Okay, all right. I don't know the young people lingo, but when we were coming up, that's one of the terms that we would use. Inappropriate, I know, but I was in the late 80s, early 90s. Okay. Thanks, Afropunk, for the super chat. Library Blockchain says, Dr. Umar might be highly educated, but degrees alone don't automatically translate into real world life skills, financial discipline, or personal stability. You're absolutely right about that. So yeah, Umar, he spent about 20 years in higher education pursuing different degrees. He also pursued certifications. He holds no certifications currently, even though he tells people that he does, because he never maintained those certifications via continuing education, if you will, credits, right? Just because he spent 20 years in higher education doesn't mean that he's a functional adult. I would propose that that's one of the reasons why Umar is in a state of arrested development, because he wasn't put in a position where he had to operate full-time as an adult. You guys understand what I'm saying? Because he's in college. It's not the same as being a fully functional adult. Now, you can do both. But what I'm saying, at Umar, when he goes into college initially in 1993, he's not an adult. And he spends about 20 years in higher education. I think that that's one of the reasons why Umar is in a state of arrested development. So with Umar, and he already had issues. Okay. And he had issues with abandonment, being shipped away from the family in 9th grade, only child sent away by his daddy, Jamal. I think he was a problem child anyway. He had issues anyway prior to that. I think that's one of the reasons why they shipped him away out of all them kids. It's a gang of them. So he gets into college, and prior to that, when he was at the military academy, it was structured and regimented and discipline. And you wake up at this time, and you go to bed at this time, and you fold your clothes this way, and your shoes or your boots have to be polished, and everything you have to, all of that. But as soon as he gets up out of there and he goes to college, he doesn't have that discipline, right? So the point is, he picks up all these degrees over the course of about 19, 20 years, but he's not a functional adult in the real world. He didn't get his ID until 2012. So real world life skills? No. Like a real world life skill would be to clean up your area. Okay, I've shown the video of him flipping his phone in his apartment that he had. He's been homeless since the end of 2019, but the apartment that he had, and he's living in filth. He's a hoarder. I have a video from 2020 where while this time he's living in his mama closet or living with his mama, and he flips the phone and there's filthy in there. That's where he's live streaming. That's where he's live streaming in this video, I think. He may have moved somewhere else inside of his mama house. No life skills. When he cleaned the toilets, I showed that video recently, a re-upload. That's a lack of life skills, real world life skills, paying bills, being financially disciplined. He doesn't pay bills with FDMG. He don't even pay child support on time. That's a real world life skill. Financial discipline. He raised millions of dollars, but he don't pay child support on time. He don't pay bills on these trap bandos, to where in last year the city was going to sell them off at sheriff's sale. How's that all possible? Well, because Umar, he may be highly educated in a traditional sense, but in real world practice. So lack of real world life skills, financial discipline, and of course, personal stability. He's not stable. He doesn't have his own home. He doesn't have his own vehicle. He lives off of his mama at 51, and he's reduced himself to live streaming inside of his mama's closet, and no shame. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Thank you, Library Blockchain. And then D, that is all, says, hey, Lenon Cooper said, glad to be back. Been MIA, dealing with some health issues. Take care of yourself. Yeah, listen, bro, because I saw you had posted that. If there's anything that we can do, let us know. Okay, and you can always email me, LenonHonor@yahoo.com. If there's anything I can help with, please, okay, let us know. And I hope you are recovering well. And we all have to take better. My doctor told me I got to take better care of myself. Okay, and I thought I was doing good. Okay, I totally get it. And like I said, brother, if there's anything we can do to help, please let us know. And you can always email me. Okay, yeah. And thanks for being a member for 52 months. All right, yeah. Everyone, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Especially the older you get, you got to take. And if you're younger, take care of yourself as much as you can. But if you get older, you definitely got to do it. Okay. Okay, so let's get into this video for the day. We're probably gonna have to carry this over to tomorrow because it's like a 2-hour video. So I want to try to get through as much of this as possible today so that we can finish things up tomorrow. Yeah, having 1 million subscribers and not working knowing how to monetize is crazy work. Yeah, that's another example. He doesn't have real world, no business acumen. Normally what happens with individuals, if they're getting master's degrees and especially if they're pursuing doctorates, there should be classes or coursework that they can take as it pertains to business, because many of those individuals end up running their own business based upon how you guys understand what I'm saying. But evidently that didn't happen for Umar, because he doesn't understand business and social media. If he approached it as a business and he operated as a business, he would do just fine. And I do just fine, and I'm doing part-time. But if he did it, but he doesn't have the real world life skills to do something like that. He has the degrees, but not the life skills. Okay. Thanks for Rodney. Okay, let's get going, everybody. So here's the video. This was from yesterday. In fact, I think he started live streaming while we were live streaming. Okay. All right, so here we go. Yeah, and he starts off sitting here. I'm going to skip to where he actually starts talking, but he puts on music like the bells. Boy, he's looking bad. He's looking bad, y'all. He puts on the bells thing from the Undertaker. So I'll skip through that part. This could be his mama's closet, but he could have changed and moved that little curtain thing into another area in the house. I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to say that it's his mama closet for now.
I met the love of my life.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, let me skip through to the part where he actually starts talking because he sits there for about 2 minutes. Yeah, here we go.
The Prince of Pan-Africanism, King Kong consciousness, the notorious RBG.
Yeah, let me know. Is this too low for you guys? Because I can re-export it and raise the volume. Let me know.
Jesus, the most relevant, the most requested, and
yeah, it could be the bathroom.
Scholar orator on the planet Earth, the only black scholar alive to be invited to speak on every single
he's picked up some weight. You can really see it in his face.
Continent and the Caribbean multiple times. This century, the greatest Pan-Africanist since the Honorable Marcus.
Okay, you're good.
Garvey, and Osajafo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Yeah, I can't turn it up. I've turned it up all the way, but I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll keep playing it so we can save time, and I'll re-export it in Premiere Pro. I got my computer is a beast, so it ain't gonna take but a couple of minutes. Okay, I'll be right back.
This black school psychologist in American history, the #1 most requested guest lecturer in university history. Brothers and sisters.
I'm sorry, what did this guy say? He's the #1 guest lecturer in university history. I got a smoothie. This guy crazy. He's so crazy. Yeah, Sonia, I'm about to re-export it. Okay. This guy, what is he talking about? Because that lady Bryant was doing talking the same way. I don't even know her name, but let me do this right quick. This Umar, he be coming up with all types of time. I'm the greatest guest lecturer in university history. What are you talking about? Them kids be bringing you out. Them faculty and staff don't bring them kids from them black student, African student unions. They bring you out, and they look at him like he's a character, like a cartoon character. He don't realize it. I'm sorry. Okay, let me set this up right quick. Okay, let me adjust this audio on, and I'll export it, and then I'll get back into it. But let's just keep going with this one.
I want to pick up where I left off yesterday. We are finishing tonight at midnight. I'm not going past midnight because I have things I need to get done. So, yesterday was part 1. If you did not watch
what things do you have to get done after midnight? This guy, I want y'all to think about that. So he was live streaming around 10 p.m. his time, which is he started his live stream while we were live streaming yesterday. But Umar, what do you have to do after? That's what I'm saying. How much stuff you got to do after midnight? Listen, I don't know why people take this guy seriously. Okay, what do you have to do? Any of y'all, what y'all got to do after midnight that's so important? All right, this guy, he got wolf business to. All right, Lewis X says he probably got his whole class in trouble in military school for getting caught with donuts. They can have donuts in the barrack, can't they? I don't know, Lewis. Like, I'm just going with it. So getting caught with donuts in the barracks. What in the world? He had to eat them with the drill sergeant while the class had to. Oh my God. This is a perfect skit right here, Lewis Luck. Let me read this. This is a perfect skit. He probably got his whole class in trouble in military school. I shouldn't laugh at this because he was just a kid, but it's true. I believe this happened. I'm sorry. For getting caught with donuts in the barracks. He had to eat them with the drill sergeant. Why would the drill sergeant eat them? I don't know. Drill sergeant, while the class had to drop and do 100. Okay. All right. All right. Thanks, Lewis. Like, boy, that's a perfect skit right there. That's crazy. The action still in the super sticker. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. After midnight, you should be asleep 51 years old, living in your mama closet. Okay. Whew. Okay. Daxter says rocks and gin after midnight. Rocks and gin after dark with Jermaine, a.k.a. Manjo. Okay. Okay. No, you guys don't do that. You guys in this chat room, you guys are doing too much. What's up, Enterprise? He meeting the plug at midnight. Hashtag E for fraud. Yeah. What does he got to do? What work? He got to go work on the school? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Enterprise. I wanted to get you on today, but we got to get into this because I want to set this up so we can finish it tomorrow, and then next week we'll get you on for sure. Okay, Enterprise. He got some new video footage of these bandos. All right. Okay. Thanks, Enterprise. Okay, let me get back to it. Let me let it play, and I'm going to export this. I'll be right back.
One, go to my Instagram and watch the live I did yesterday afternoon entitled Coup d'etat.
I didn't see that.
The hype.
Or maybe we did watch that.
Democrats and Republicans are working together. Don't worry about my hair, my brother. Because
here you go.
I don't know what's going on with you tutti fruity zesty types. Stop worrying about my hair. Because I can promise you this. One thing for certain.
Why is he talking so soft?
Is true. Your woman would rather be sitting on my lap as I do this live.
Oh, here he goes.
Than laying in your bed next to you. Let me say it again. See, I didn't even want to go there with you dusty hoteps tonight, but okay. Your woman would rather be sitting on my lap as I do this live than laying next to you in your bed. And if you don't leave me alone, I'm going to give your queen the Ifa Tunde shakedown. I will butter her buns if you don't leave me alone.
Oh my God. Let me export this right quick.
I digress. How you doing tonight, Coco Chanel? How you doing tonight, Lioness May? How you doing tonight, Neoma Nova? How we doing tonight? They call me Mickey. Okay. Get rid of this zesty.
All right, I'm exporting it right now.
Brothers and sisters, first of all, make sure you donate to the FDMG Academy, PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. Make sure you donate to the FDMG Academy, PayPal.me/FDMG Academy.
All right, exporting right now.
Make sure you sign up for my Patreon, patreon.com/Dr. Umar, patreon.com/Dr. Umar. We just started the Race First book about marketing.
All right, yeah, it's exporting right now. It's like a almost 2-hour video, but it's going to take 5 minutes. Well, I tell you, back in the day, it would take a 2-hour video. It would take me I would have to export it overnight. I would set it and get up in the morning, and sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. So anyway, let me do as I'm waiting for that because I don't want to get too further into this video because it is quite low. But I adjusted the audio level, and we should be able to hear it a lot better once it's done exporting. Real quick, let me do. What I was going to do. Device says Umar Johnson was the kid who swam with his shirt on. He is in critical need of a horse. We don't want to do that. How he homeless and getting bigger, Umar. Okay, let me explain this though, because it is a good question. Umar has different addictions and different tiers of addictions. Real quick in the chat room while we wait. What are some of Umar's addictions? Okay, gambling is one of them. I'll put that one in here. And that's at the casino. That's also because I have 2 videos of him at the casino gambling, but also he likes to bet on sports events. Okay, and I have evidence of that too. I can show you guys. In fact, I'll show you guys right now. Oh, it's not. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So this is, and he's posted quite a few of these. You guys playing too much. I'm trying to be serious, okay? So right here, FDMG is going to put up some funds in hopes of raising enough money to cover remaining repairs on our Garvey building. We trying to hit Vegas for $2 million. Which team should we gamble on? Okay, and this is from April 28th of 2022. Right, so that's one of his addictions. People were saying food. You're absolutely right about that. Food is one of his addictions. Substance abuse issues. Yeah, he's addicted to donations. What else? Okay, food. Yep, food. How's it going, Vixen? How's it going, Chastity? Yeah, Little Debbie's. That's under food though, BD. What's up, Simply Complicated? Honey buns. Yeah, he likes honey buns too. Crushing cookies. That's another addiction for Umar. Yep, substance abuse, CJ. Yep. You guys are tripping. Smoking. Yeah, he was out in front of these trap bandos smoking. Yeah, Black and Milds. Fast food, eating out. Yep. Yeah, gin. Sweets, that falls. Yeah, Deshaun, that falls under food too. Yep. Gin. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Wait, here you go. Hey, how's it going, Jojo? What you doing? All right. Yeah, shopping. He likes to shop. Yeah, lying. Somebody put free pay. I ain't gonna do that. Anyway, he has different addictions, and then he has different tiers. So some are more important. Say hostess. Yeah. So let me explain. So when Umar is in duress, he goes to whatever addiction that he can afford. This makes sense? Because the addiction is what makes him feel better. And he's been very angry recently. He's been very upset, looking all this shelf. So he goes for whatever it is. And so he has different tiers. And one of the easiest things to be able to pay for is food. Right? So it'd be a way of him comforting himself. It's like self-medication, if you will, but he uses food in order to do that. Well, what happens as a consequence? Well, he starts to pick up weight. And this can go on for weeks, it can go on for months. He binge eats and so forth and so on. That's why when you hear, he talks a lot about food and stuff like that. Right? On the other hand, there are times where Umar, he has money for other things and he focuses on those things. Those things still function as like self-soothing for him, if you will, these different things. Okay. It could be the substance, it could be sex, it could be gambling, whatever. So right now, or at least I would think over the last month or so, maybe 2 months, you can clearly see that Umar's put on a lot of weight. Well, that's because he's been binge eating. And that's what he can afford right now. Now, if he gets a big infusion of money, okay, well, then he'll go to these other tiers that are more expensive. So I don't even know, would alcohol be more expensive than food? Probably, right? Well, definitely, if substances, drugs or whatever, that would definitely be more, cost more. But that's what's taking place with Umar. And I've seen this over the years, up and down, his weight up and down. But there's a reason why. Okay, there's like 40 seconds left on this export. Then we'll get back to this video. I just want to make sure we can hear everything. Okay, thanks, user 225. Enterprise says he never say that to me. Imagine dog walking. Oh, you talking about if he talked with you? Yeah, but the thing is that Umar, he doesn't deal directly with like real men. He's never. And I used to talk about this years ago. He never does that. He mainly targets single black women because he feels more comfortable like manipulating them. Like a real man, they ain't gonna be dealing with like with Umar and having him lying and all that. They just ain't got time for all that. But there are women that he knows and he targets specifically to try to manipulate and exploit. But a real man, he don't deal with real men. He don't. Thanks, Enterprise. Goddess Noah says the stress of trying to keep up the FDMG facade probably got Umar's cortisol through the roof. Yeah, absolutely. Because he's been very angry. The last videos the more recent videos we've seen of Umar, you can tell he's upset. He's angry. He's frustrated. Okay, yeah, cortisol levels are through the roof. Stress levels are through the roof. He's trying to figure out how can I keep this going? The money's not coming in like it used to. And he don't realize that when he told the lie earlier this year that renovations were completed, he told the lie again because he said it back in August of 2023. But he says it, I think it was in February of 2026. That really put him in a corner. And now he has to figure out how do I maneuver through this? He can't even go up in there and walk through anymore. That was a big selling point to actually go inside. See, so yeah, the stress levels, and it's not like the stress that he's stressed out because he wants to open up a school and there's all these obstacles, sabotage. That's not the reason why. He's stressed because he doesn't know what the next step is for him to get money out of people. See the difference? But he put himself in this position in the first place. And again, it doesn't matter how much money Umar gets. He's always going to end right back up in his mama's closet. Thanks, Goddess Noel. Keith said Umar needs one of those waste reduction machines. No, I'm gonna tell y'all what Umar. The thing is that his mind is so dysfunctional. It's not just an issue of what he's eating. It's not just the issue of what he's drinking. It's not just the issue of the scamming and the scheming. It's not just the issue of the crushing of the cookies. It's not just the issue. It's Umar in terms of his mentals. And if Umar's going to get back on track, he has to get that taken care of first. He can get under control of his mind, and then he can use his mind to exercise levels of self-discipline, which would include making sure that he's eating properly, eating at the right times, eating the right types of food. But it starts up here with this guy in the first place. That's his biggest issue. But the narcissism and the grandiosity and the arrogance. That's what I noticed about that one lady, the Bryant doctor. I don't think she's a doctor. Chanel Bryant or whatever. The arrogance is so over the top that Umar he can't legitimately look at himself and do an assessment in terms of where he's at in life, because he thinks he's the greatest. He thinks that he's the most requested. He thinks that he's God's gift. See, that's all up here in the first place. But if he can get this together, then he can at least start to get this together. Then he can start to look at his reality for what it is. And then all of these struggles that are self-imposed because he lives a foul life, he can start mitigating that. Okay, I'm not going to be as foul today as I was yesterday. Next day, I'm not going to be as foul this day that I was the day before. And then slowly but surely, he starts to kind of clean things up. Then he develops self-discipline. He needs to get into rehab. See, that's when you have to get to that mental state first. Then he can start thinking about the right types of food to eat. He can start thinking about, okay, maybe I shouldn't be out here running through all these women. It's unhealthy too, right? Maybe I shouldn't be live streaming until midnight because I got other stuff to do after midnight. See, maybe at 51, but he has to get this together first, right? Thanks, Keith. Okay, it has been exported, so let me pull it up, and the audio level should be significantly louder. Okay, we got about 900 people in the building already. Thank you guys so much. There is a poll question. Make sure you vote on the poll during this live stream. The poll question: are you surprised Umar is back in his mama's closet? 92% said no, 8% said yes. I'm not surprised at all. Okay, we got 534 votes for. Our goal for likes today is 400. So if at any point you're enjoying the show, make sure you hit that like button. Only take you about 2 seconds, but it makes a huge difference. Okay, so let me pull this up. Here it is right here, and now the audio should be much louder. Okay, here we go.
El Hajj Malik El Shabazz Malcolm X Day. Message to the Race First book about Malcolm. Donate to the FDMG Academy PayPal.
Okay, is it a little bit better
Brothers
for you guys?
and sisters? First of all, make sure you donate to the FDMG Academy. How you doing tonight, Coco Chanel?
Okay, here we go.
Let me say it again.
I wanted to hear what he was talking about right here.
With a rap, I can promise you this. Don't believe the hype. The Democrats and Republicans are working together.
Okay, cool.
Don't worry about my hair, my brother. Because I don't know what's going on with you tutti fruity zesty types.
He said tutti fruity. Tutti fruity. Oh, Rudy. His hair does look wild.
Stop worrying about my hair.
Yeah, he's see, I'm not like that. People can clown me in my hairline, they clown me about, I don't know, whatever. And I'm like, I'll go with it. But Umar, he gets so offended.
Because I can promise you this. One thing for certain, and two things is true. Your woman would rather be sitting on my lap as I do this live.
Yeah, Umar, he's diabolical.
Than laying in your bed next to you. Let me see.
Umar be talking reckless. He'll talk like that over the internet, but he ain't gonna talk no real man like that. Real talk.
Say it again.
Oh, damn, man. So is that Lenon has a hairline? I don't know. No, you're right. He's disheveled. Yeah. No, I don't find, listen, I go with it. It's part of the show. I don't have an ego like that. I have a different kind. Everybody has an ego. My ego ain't like that because when we were growing up, we used to clown each other all the time. I'm used to make people cry. I laugh. It's all good. Okay. CJ says, I feel like you give Umar constructive advice more than anyone else in his life. Ironically, you might actually be his only real friend. Yeah. Okay, friendship, not in the traditional sense. And I don't know if I've told people this in the past. I may have mentioned it a few times. I look at Umar like a little brother who's fucking up. Let's just be real about it. That's how I look at Umar. And he's been fucking up for such a long time. And he don't have a daddy in his life. He doesn't have men in his life to check him, to keep him on track, to hold him accountable. And so part of what I've done, and I don't know if I've told people this, is I look at Umar like a little brother, and I'm here to try to give him some guidance, constructive. I clown him too, but that's how, listen, it's part of it. But I try to give him constructive criticism on what he can do to get on the right track. And there's been times in my life where that's what I needed, right? Umar, he at the age of 51, he needs it. It's still. So that is true. That's part of, and so I'm not saying friendship. I'm not saying that there's friendship in a literal sense, but it's more like a older brother trying to guide and give instruction to a little brother who is so far off track, and that little brother doesn't have any guidance. And Umar, he hasn't had that. See, he doesn't know what it's like to have a real man in his life consistently guiding him. See, most of my life, I didn't know what that was either. So part of what I do here is I try to provide that to Umar, but also for other, if there's younger men who see these videos, because Umar, he's a cautionary tale. I told people this in the first documentary. This is someone, again, who's 6 degrees. He had oratory skills, doesn't have it like he used to, because he's tricked that off too, right? But he's 6 degrees, educated, speaking skills, oratory skills, potential to do some wonderful things, and he's tricked it all off. Okay? I'm not saying it's his daddy's fault either, because Umar's 51. Okay, many of us grew up without fathers, and we got lost along the way. Amen. But we have to find ourselves and do better. But Umar hasn't done that. CJ, Umar's done worse. That's why his ass at 51 is in his mama's closet live streaming. Where's Umar's office? He says he's the greatest school psychologist since sliced bread, right? Where's his office at? He's been sitting on these trap bandos in Wilmington, hear me, 7 years and ain't set up an office in 7 years? Come on, y'all, please stop. While raising millions of dollars for a school that don't exist. He should be ashamed of himself. And he's so arrogant and narcissistic that he won't take guidance from anybody. But he right back up in the mama closet. He ain't figured that out. That's why I say sometimes Umar, he batshit crazy, because the textbook definition of insanity is doing the same shits, plural, over and over again and expecting different results. That's Umar. So I try to hip him to the game. I try to give some game to the younger brothers here too, because I've fallen short my damn self many times. So Umar can teach a lot of us a lot of different lessons. All right. TJ says, Umar, you ain't made you ain't made $1 million. This guy, it's amazing. He's raised millions of dollars. And living off of his mama, 51, live streaming in mama closet. There's no excuse for that. There's none. Anyway, thanks, TJ. Okay, and I gave you a wrench too. Yeah, I got to update my mods too, because there's a lot of people who were I gave them mod wrenches years ago, and they're not around anymore. So at some point, I got to clear all that, and I'll start giving out more to other people. Okay, let's get back to the main video. Okay, we got to make some progress now. My goodness, all right, here we go.
See, I didn't even want to go there with you dusty hoteps tonight, but okay. Your woman would rather be sitting on my lap as I do this live than laying next to you in your bed. And if you don't leave me alone, I'm going to give your queen the Ifa Tunde shakedown.
Yeah, that means to have sex with this guy. He's so reckless. This is y'all's principle. Oh, I'm sorry, Afropunk. Let me see. I apologize. Here it is. Lenon, do you really still have hope for Umar? Okay. See, I already know y'all gonna go off on me on this one because I think about this from time to time. I do. I have some qualifiers though, if you will. And that qualifier is not even the right term. I can't think of the term right now. But is there hope for him? Yes. Will he actualize what needs to be done in order for him to start to move his life and himself in the right direction? No. There's a time I used to think that he would, but at this point, no, I don't think so. I think he's so deep into this, and the narcissism is so great, and he's a sociopath. I think he's a borderline psychopath, to be honest with you guys. But I'm not going to say that he is. But for sure, he's a sociopath. Narcissistic personality traits. I don't think that Umar will ever change. Could he? Yeah, he could. Will he? No, I don't think so. I would. I guess another way of saying this, Afropunk, is I would like to see him do better. I would like to see that for everyone, including people who back in the day were doing all types of, there were Umar Johnson supporters back then. They don't support him now, but they were doing all kinds of horrible stuff to Umar Johnson critics, and they did horrible stuff to me. Online, offline. Did I tell y'all, I think I told y'all last week, there's someone who called CPS to try to get our children taken away from us. And they live streamed. They have the video. They live streamed it. One guy hired a gay guy to say that I was in a relationship with him. I mean, who does that? But I would like to see those people do better, and hopefully they are doing better. One of them, I know they're doing better. I'm actually proud of that person. So good for them. But in Umar's case, do I think that he will do better? I don't think so. Would I like for him to do better? Yes. And I want that for everybody, and myself included. Now, again, I've gotten criticism for that in the past. It says, yeah, but he's a scammer and he's exploiting Black women, and you know, he's a lying, he's spreading all kind of false information, and the list goes on and on and on. He don't take care of his mama. Yeah, I get it, but I'm a firm believer of the power of redemption, and that anyone can get their life turned around. I'm living proof of that. And by no means am I where I want to be, but I've come a long way. And that same grace that people have afforded me, some of you guys here have afforded me over these many years, it's only right for me to extend that to Umar. Again, do I think he's going to make changes? No. I don't think so. But I would like for him to. Okay? I think that's fair. All right. Thanks, Afropunk. Okay. And then 80 for Jermaine sent in a super sticker. Thank you so much. Medicine ball medicine ball belly tune. They workout people. No, I can't say nothing because I've gotten it down because I've lost about 6 pounds. Okay, my doctor said I need to lose 15, so I got about 9 more to go. So I'm working on it. But Umar, I don't think that health is something that he worries about. He's in survival mode. That's the thing. When you're in survival mode and you have survival mentality, it's about hustle It's about, and in Umar's case, it's not like a legitimate hustle. It's about scamming people. He's not worried about his health. He's not even physical health. He's not even worried about his mental health. I'm telling you, the amount of energy that he has to expend, mental energy that he has to expend on the daily to continue to run these scams and all of the shenanigans and keep all this up, it would affect anyone's mental health. But he's not worried about that because he's in survival mode. Yep. Okay, thanks, Keith. I remember, I know what the medicine ball. Okay, let's get back to it, everybody. Here we go.
I will butter her buns if you don't leave me the hell alone.
Oh, thank you, TB. Yeah, and you see, he has to turn things sexual because that sexual is really for Umar. That's his mode of domination, including dominating other men. I shouldn't say. I apologize. Other men's women. Oh, my God. Yeah, you guys, please, if you understand that, hit the one. I don't want people to think I was saying something else. Because he was saying he wants some fists from the men. I said, oh, shit. Okay. Coco gifted the membership. Thank you, Coco. Why you change your name to the puppies? Come on, bro. You got to put the puppies back on there. Okay. Shout out to Coco. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, he said butter her buns. See, again, he equates, because it's all his addictions. He equates buns, right? And butter. Okay, buns, that's dealing with the sex thing, but he has to have the butter because he has to put everything together. Crushing the cookies, pina colada, hot fudge, mocha almond, the Cinnabons. Okay, because that's one of his addictions is food. The other one is sex. He puts them together. I broke this down many years ago. I had a whiteboard and everything. That was good old days. Okay, thanks, Coco, again. Okay, let's go. We got to make some progress. Here we go.
Yes. I digress. How you doing tonight, Coco Chanel?
Yeah, Cinnabons.
How you doing tonight, Lioness May?
Yeah, what else though,
How you
y'all?
doing tonight,
Cinnabons,
Neoma
cookies.
Nova? How we doing tonight? They call me Mickey. Okay. Get rid of this zesty. Brothers and sisters.
He said this zesty. Umar used to call me gay. One time he said I was a PDF. All right. Yeah, Peach Cobbler.
First of all, make sure you donate to the FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy.
First of all, donate for what? Hot fudge chocolate chunk. Let me stop.
Make sure you donate to the FDMG Academy. PayPal.me.
Ice cream, yeah.
/FDMG Academy.
Somebody said Uncle
Make sure you sign up for my Patreon.
Guns and butter.
Patreon.com/Dr. Umar.
What's up?
Patreon.com.
What's up? I ain't seen you in a minute. Guns and butter.
/Dr. Umar. We just started the Race First book about Marcus Garvey. If you want to join the book club,
yeah, he sure
Dr.
did.
Umar's online book club. Go to patreon.com/DRUMAR. If you need to reach me by text message, 215-989-9858. If you need to reach me by text message, 215-989-9858.
Skittles. I used to love
Tuesday, 1 week from tomorrow.
Too sweet for me now.
Is El Hajj Malik El Shabazz Malcolm X Day. Tuesday. 1 week from tomorrow.
Yeah, butter biscuits. Yeah, there we go. I always like to see the puppies.
X Day. We will be at Ferncliff Cemetery at the grave site of the great Pan-Africanist.
Here he go.
El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. Join us at Malcolm's grave site in Ferncliff Cemetery.
Grits, yeah.
From 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. Next Tuesday, May the 19th.
But ain't nobody signed up for that.
And then his daughter, the beautiful and intelligent Ilyasa Shabazz, she will be hosting a celebration program in her father's honor at the...
Wow, that's a nice which avatar picture that you got right there. That's one of my dreams before I get up off of this planet. At my age, you used to be thinking like that. I want to, and they got them out here, but it's like a 4 hour, 5 or 6 hour drive, something like that. But there's places where the ambient light and I can't remember what it's called, but for people who like to look at stars and stuff, one of the big issues is just lights, here on Earth. But there's different places that you can go, like a national park where you don't have that, and you can see the Milky Way, and that's one of my dreams of being able to do that. I've been wanting to do that because I'm into sci-fi and space travel and all that kind of stuff deep. So that's wonderful. Anyway, I apologize. Okay, make me a little emotional because I want to see that. What's up, Michael? Says Umar's not changing until he drops that bomb. Damn. I'm trying. Yeah, light pollution. That's what it is. I'm trying to give Umar some encouragement. Michael, like, nah, fuck all that. We ain't. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. That's crazy. Okay. Yeah, it's called light pollution. It's a big issue. TJ says Umar embodies the personification of the seven deadly sins: pride, envy, gluttony, sloth, greed, lust, wrath. And you're absolutely right. In fact, one of his early lectures was called the seven deadly sins. Did you guys know that? Hit the one. It was all projecting. Y'all know that? And it's true. He's prideful. And that's part of the arrogance and the narcissism and the sense of that he's so great and better than everybody else. See, if you're living in your mama's closet, you shouldn't be prideful about that. You should be embarrassed and make changes. Even if you're live streaming inside your mama's closet at 51, now if you're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, maybe. Last time I lived with my mama, it was for 2 months. Me and my wife, we had moved back from Oakland. We moved to San Diego. No, my mom wasn't even living there. It was my sister that was living there. The last time I lived with my sister, I should say, it was for 2 months. And then we moved to Atlanta. And that's why we just needed a stopover. But to be 51, he shouldn't be. Why would you be prideful? But again, this is one of Umar's issues. Envy. He's extremely envious and jealous, but envious. Yeah, that's why he's always going at successful black people. He really hates Barack Obama. He still hates Barack Obama. He's always talking poorly about black leaders. He's always talking poorly about black athletes, politicians, comedians, athletes, especially athletes. Extremely envious. Even when he talks about other men, their wives and that kind of stuff, he be talking reckless. Well, Umar, where's your wife? Where's your woman? Damn, you're 51. Where's your woman at? See, so he has a lot of envy. That's how he is. So you're absolutely right. Gluttony. Well, clearly, he one of his addictions is eating food. I have this one video where Umar's head is so bloated. It looked like it was going to pop. And that's when that money was really coming in. Sloth, he's lazy. I have a couple of interviews where Umar says one of my hobbies is taking naps. Well, if you're going to be opening up a school, why are you taking naps? And that's your hobby? What are you talking about? You should be up doing shit, grown man. Y'all ever seen Umar dressed to clean up or dressed to do construction work or renovations with a tool belt with some Timberlands on the property? You don't see him doing that. This guy be in dashikis with Nikes on. He's lazy. Greed, that's one of his biggest issues. He's a greedy person. See, that's why greed, you always end back up where you were at before you was trying to fulfill this greed need, if you will, but then things are worse. That's why Umar's still living inside of Mama Claus. They're going to get millions of dollars. It's all greed. He hasn't provided one service to the children out there in Wilmington, Delaware in over 7 years. Think about that, while still raising millions of dollars. Even after he acquired these trap bandos. Not one thing. Well, he's greedy. Now, he'll throw some money at some women after he crushed their cookies, but doing anything for these kids, he's greedy. That's why he don't pay child support, because he's greedy. That's why, listen, one of the reasons why Umar don't work a job is not just because he's lazy, but because he's greedy. And he knows that if he worked a regular old job, even if it's a part-time job, well, okay, guess what? The child support going wage garnishment. So he don't want that because he's greedy. So he'll say, I'm not going to work a job. And that's not uncommon. It's trifling, but it's not uncommon. Okay. And then lustful, come on. That all he do, this guy, is talk about sex. He always got to bring sex up. That's y'all's principle. He's extremely lustful. He's a sexual deviant. I'll say it. And then, of course, wrath. When he gets angry, he goes off, especially when he's exposed by these women that come out and tell all the business. So you're absolutely right. He had a lecture called that was dealing with the 7 deadly sins. Thanks, TJ. Keith says, I'll pay for Mr. T to do an impersonation of Umar. People be saying Umar look like Mr. T. Mr. T. All right, man, that was awesome. What was that show called? I can't remember what it was called. I can't remember, but I used to watch that show. They had a van. Okay, thanks, Keith. Enterprise says redemption only happens with repentance and humility. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I totally agree with that. And Umar, he lacks humility. He's so arrogant. Okay. Thanks, Enterprise. Good point. Yeah, the A-Team. Yeah, I even had a book called The A-Team. I remember that from when I was a kid. It was called The Maltese Falcon. Isn't that deep? I can still remember that. I can't remember stuff that well. My wife and one of my daughters, they remember everything. Dates. They'd be like, yeah, that was 5 years ago on April 2021. And I said, what? I said, I don't even remember that. Okay. Let's get going here. Here we go. And thanks for all the super chats, everybody.
The Audubon Ballroom, where Brother Malcolm's life was unjustifiably and unfortunately taken from us.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
Which is now called the Malcolm and Betty Shabazz Center. That program begins.
Yeah, what Lemons Woody, what movie are you talking about? Because I'm always looking for a good movie. Let me know.
At 6 p.m. on Tuesday, May the 19th in Upper Manhattan. So we'll be at the gravesite from 11 to 2. And then we'll be at the Malcolm and Betty Shabazz Center from 6 p.m.
Well, Umar, he love grave sites. That's crazy. You ain't gonna catch me hanging out.
Onward. I am not scheduled to speak.
Oh, 18?
But I am coming to support.
I don't remember the movie.
Brothers and sisters, I will be in Franklin, Virginia, Southampton County, Nat Turner Land. I will be in Franklin, Virginia.
Okay. You talking about the movie
Southampton County,
Falcon.
Virginia,
Okay.
Nat Turner Land. I will be in Franklin, Virginia, Southampton County, Nat Turner Land on Thursday, June 18.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. That's an old movie from 1941.
Thursday, June 18, Franklin, Virginia, in Southampton County. The next day, I will be at the Hampton Event Center, Hampton, Virginia, for the
Domo.
program.
You talk about everything about FDMG.
And then I will be in Dothan, Alabama, with my Alabama Africans. I will see you in Dothan, Alabama on
Umar, he blended into the background.
Saturday, June the 20th. I will be in Cincinnati, Ohio, August the 20th. Nat Turner Land, August
I don't really
21st.
watch old movies.
I will be in Brixton, London, England, for the Reparations Day march.
Yeah, my wife and I, we were trying to watch Hail Mary, the sci-fi movie, last night, but I was so tired, I fell asleep.
Where are my British Africans at?
Here he
Where
goes.
are my British Africans at? My Scottish Africans, my Irish Africans, my French Africans. I want to see all my European Africans in London, August the 1st in Brixton, for the annual Reparations Day March. I got a few other dates coming up. Let me just check, and then I'm going to get into my message because we're only going to be an hour. I might be in Charlotte, North Carolina next Saturday, May 23rd. I may be speaking in Charlotte, North Carolina next Saturday, May the 23rd. Where my Charlotte Africans at? Where my Carolina Africans at? Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I might be there June 12th, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Ethiopian World Federation Conference in New York City, July 15th and 16th. Ethiopian World Federation Conference in New York City, July 15th and 16th. Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Yeah, I saw that.
November
Yeah,
the
Big
7th.
Mix. I just saw that. Yep.
Pine Bluff,
it was from last
Arkansas,
year.
November the 7th. And then I will be in Massillon, Ohio.
Yeah, my on my dad's side, my biological grandfather, they were from Arkansas. And then the man who raised him, he was from Louisiana. That's where I got my name from. It's supposed to be Lenor something like that, Henri, but the translation is LenonHonor.
ASSILON Massillon, Ohio, near Akron,
So
outside.
U225 says, one day I'll call into Umar Johnson's show as an Asian guy bragging about my black queen. My Asian persuasion defeats Sean go stick to. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. I always tell people don't do nothing like that, because then Umar, well, now Umar, he's trying to sabotage me. All right. Thank you, 225, for the super chat. Okay, let's keep on because we got to make some progress here.
Out of Cleveland. I'll be there either the first or second weekend in September. Sign up for Patreon, join the book club, join as a regular member, join as a free member, donate to the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. Let's get into the message tonight. Let's get into the message tonight. Let's get into the message tonight. Brothers and sisters, we already dealt with the fact that they gutted Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act.
Oh, this is a continuation.
We already
of
dealt
what we
with
were
the
covering
fact
yesterday.
that
this guy,
coup d'etat of the black vote was planned 25 years ago.
Hey, that's a good point. Enterprise bandos are in Delaware and yet never requested there. For my research, he's spoken there twice. One was where he after he purchased these trap bands. It's not even a speaking engagement. So at least one time for my research. That's very telling right there. You know, even deeper still, Enterprise, we don't really hear Umar being booked in Philadelphia, and that's where he stayed. You guys notice that? That's interesting. He's been in Delaware for 7 years. And you would think that he would be doing speaking engagements consistently there after 7 years, right? Because that's where he's supposed to be opening up these trap bandos. And wouldn't that make sense? Once a week to have a speaking engagement in Wilmington, that would make more sense, but that's not what we see. That's a really good point, and including Philadelphia. Yeah, that's a really good point. Thanks, Enterprise.
Ago. We already dealt with the fact that the Democrats and the Republicans are happy.
Yeah, that's what I think.
They no longer.
Yeah, I don't think they known he's a scammer for a long time.
Black voter power. We already dealt with the fact that at least half of the Supreme Court justices were appointed by two presidents who were not elected by the people, George Bush and Donald Trump. We already dealt with the fact that George Bush spent the first 8 years of the 21st century gentrifying predominantly black inner cities to reduce black control of elections.
Hey, what's up, man? I ain't seen you in a while. We got a lot of people I ain't seen in a while. 3 people so far that I can think of. And Broken Pond, what's up, man? Said, I've been gone for a while. I came back to see Umar's right. Hanging and him still lying. Dusty and musty is never going to change. Okay. What in the world? Shout out to Broken Pine Trees. I ain't seen you in so long. Hope you're doing all right, bro. Wow. Okay, we're gonna get that off of there. Thank you for the super chat. But people do say that he looked dusty and musty. I'm not going to argue against that. Okay, the other part, I don't want to get into all that right now. Okay, thanks, Broken Pine Trees. Yeah, good to see you, man. He's been around a long time. Okay. Tanya real quick says that he makes it sound like he's invited to these events instead of just going. Yeah, there are events that he shows up. I have 2 examples that I think are really, really key. One was I'm sorry, I'm tripping. One was with Queen Mother, that video, he wasn't scheduled to speak there. It was her event. They were trying to get him off stage for a long time, but he kept running his mouth. And finally, she got up there and got him off of there. And he was tripping, talking reckless and yelling and stuff and trying to intimidate her. That was horrible. But Umar, he will do that. He'll tell people that he's going to be speaking, but he's not on the actual schedule, but he'll show up and finagle so that he can get, or he'll know someone who's going to be there. That's, maybe a part of the organization, whatever. And then another example was I apologize, I can't remember the name. This is the video where he loses his voice. He does the same thing. They gave him a couple of minutes, but he kept running his mouth, he ended up losing his voice. It was funny, but he wasn't a scheduled speaker there. He just was able to finagle because there was someone who was there who was part of the organization who put all that together. And Umar probably was in contact with them and said, hey, listen, if you can get me on the microphone, and he said, we can get you on. But it's not that he was scheduled by the event organizer, the person who's in charge of it. It was someone lower down on the line. They were trying to get him off of there for a long time, but he kept running his mouth. Anyway, that's part of what Umar Johnson does. It makes him feel as if he's important, but then he can say that, hey, listen, I'm being requested. He's not being. That's why he's in the mama closet right now. Yeah, I apologize. It was a Breonna Taylor event. It was funny what happens because he loses his voice and he keeps trying to talk. You know, I'm Frederick Douglass. No, nobody want to hear. You sound like a Sith Lord. But that wasn't his event. He wasn't scheduled as a guest speaker or anything like that. He just what they call he bum rushed the stage. That's what Umar does. Thanks, Domo. And Broken Ponchi became a member again. Thank you so much, Broken Ponchi. Good to see you too. Okay. All right, let's keep on here. Here we go.
City. The gentrification movement was not only about taking back the inner city in terms of real estate, it was about taking back the black vote and giving it to white people in the inner city. Let
me give me some more smoothie. I'll be right back.
Let me say that again. George Bush's gentrification plan was not just about real estate. It was about white people taking back the voting power from blacks in the inner cities. We dealt with that. We dealt with the fact that Barack Obama was given to black people as a conciliatory prize because our entire history in America is that of taking one step forward and 2 steps backward. Our entire history in America is about taking 1 step forward and 2 steps backward. So they gave black people Barack Obama as the grand finale.
YouTube advisor, someone should really tell Umar that as a man, your nipples aren't supposed to. Listen, okay, all right. See, you see what happens? I'm not laughing, but you see what happens? Broken. See, broken pond. You see what happens? All right, let's keep going. Thank you for the super chat, YouTube. You guys, wow.
Of concessions to the Negro community. Let me say that again. They gave Barack Obama to the black community for 8 years as a sign and a symbol that this is the last thing we're doing for you, and we won't be doing anything else for black people ever.
Oh my!
So y'all gonna take these 8 years of Barack Obama.
What does that mean?
And y'all can celebrate. Y'all can.
I never heard that being said. He's milking. Listen, I've never heard that in my life. Half a century, I never heard he's milking. Okay. Okay, let's keep going. Thank you for the super chat. That's wow. Somebody said it's chocolate milk. All right. Okay. Someone said it's chocolate milk. Asmara says, hi to the Cook Chat family. I highly recommend watching the movie The Revenant with Lenon. Yeah, I think I've seen that, right? Isn't that the bear? There's a bear. The Revenant. Yeah, I've seen that one. No, that's not the bear one, is it? No, I've seen this one though too. Yeah, I've seen this one because I remember there was a guy, they put him in, that something had happened and they dug a hole and put him in there and he survived. I think that's that movie. It was a good movie. Yeah, that was a good movie. Yeah, maybe I should check it out again because I'm always looking for stuff to watch. Thanks, Asmata, for the suggestion. Yeah, anyone got anything, especially sci-fi, but I've seen it. It was a good movie. It was a good one. He's teaching. I shouldn't be laughing at this. It's funny, but I shouldn't be laughing at it. Okay, I'm trying to keep the decorum. He's teaching lactation classes at FDMG. Buttermilk. RBG. All right, RBG spoiled milk. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Thanks, TJ. User 225 also says his initials are Umar Johnson is UJ because it stands for Okay. All right. Let's move on from that particular topic. Okay. Yeah, I know it's out of control. It's out of control. I don't want to do Umar like that. Okay. Somebody said to milk. Okay, manna from heaven, milk from the ancestors. Okay. I know he said udder. He said udder juice. Who says that? Okay, thank you for the super chat, y'all. We got to get. Oh man, we're gonna be on this for the next month.
Meditate. Y'all can congregate. Y'all can do whatever y'all want. But once Obama's gone, we will never again do anything for blacks. So they gave you Obama to give you the illusion of inclusion. They gave you Obama to give you the illusion of inclusion.
He said Pookie pasteurized. All right.
They gave you Barack.
Well, I know it's crazy, the Cookie Crush chat. It's crazy.
To let you have your last party before they put us back in Jim Crow.
It does, Patriot.
Barack Obama was the grand finale of federal action on behalf of black people. I don't know if you all know this.
Why do you say the right one, though? I don't.
We've had 10 presidents since Dr. King's assassination.
I shouldn't be laughing.
Not counting Lyndon Baines Johnson. We've had 10 presidents since Dr. King's assassination, not including Lyndon Baines Johnson. There was Nixon. There was Ford.
What are you talking
There
about?
was Reagan. There was Carter.
And this guy.
There was Bush. There was Clinton.
Okay.
There was Bush. There was Obama. There was Trump. There was Biden. There was Trump again. 10 presidents since Dr. King.
Yeah, he just running his mouth.
Not including Lyndon Baines Johnson. And guess what? Of those 10 presidents, 4 were Democrats.
Okay.
Carter, Clinton, Obama, and Biden.
Yeah.
Of those 4 Democratic presidents, of the 10 presidents America has had since Dr. King's assassination, 2 of them were Southern Democrats.
Okay.
Bill
and
Clinton,
what's the point with this guy?
Jimmy Carter.
This guy, he just
Actually,
talking?
3 of them were Southern Democrats, if you include Joe Biden, because technically Delaware was considered a Southern state.
Huh?
Yes, Delaware stood with Abraham Lincoln, but Abraham Lincoln allowed Delaware to keep her slaves. Technically,
What? He talking about Bush, but sitting there with that Amazonian swap right on his head. I'm like, yeah, I know it's crazy. It's crazy. And we've been talking about this broken palm trees. When Umar starts to spiral out, and you remember the Kobe Bryant rant, we covered that a couple of days ago, or at least part of it a couple of days ago, or last week. It might have been a couple of days ago. But when his hair starts getting like this is when Umar's in a really bad shape. Same thing with the Kobe Bryant rant. And here he is right here. You can tell he's just in a really bad shape. And then the fact that he's looking like this, talking like this. In the other video, he was at a park talking crazy, yelling and screaming. But then he's talking about politics. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. He's out of control right now. Now I was saying it yesterday. I hope he gets it together, but he lies from again. And clearly he ain't got it together. Thanks, Broken Prompt. U225 says Umar Johnson doesn't take Ozempic because that would be bad for. Don't do that. No, we're not gonna do that. Okay. Abdul became a new member. Thank you so much. Okay, you guys be taking it too far. Okay, here we go.
Delaware
Thanks for
is
super
the
chats,
South.
everybody.
So Biden, a Southern Democrat. Clinton, a Southern Democrat. Jimmy Carter, a Southern Democrat.
Yeah, I know.
Of the 10 presidents since Dr. King, only one was a Northern Democrat, Barack Obama.
Okay.
The point that I'm making is that even though you had 4 Democratic presidents out of 10 since Dr. King's assassination, most of them were either Republicans or Southern Democrats with Republican values. Let me say that again. Even though you've had 10 presidents since Dr. King's assassination,
yeah, he just running his mouth.
All of them were either Republicans.
His racist ass can't give Obama props for, but yeah, listen, out of all of the people, because I've done the research, out of all the people that Umar Johnson has attacked, black people, successful black people, he hasn't gone in on anyone as much as he's gone in on Obama. And there's different reasons. One of the reasons is because Umar, again, he's envious. I remember one time, it was probably about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, he did a video where he was talking, if I was the president of Black America, I would ban weeds. He was talking crazy, but he was being serious, but he was talking crazy. So from the jump, he was talking real reckless about Obama. And it's not like a critical analysis. It's not that like he was being fair or nothing like that. It's just hatred. You know, he's a hateful, vindictive, envious, jealous person. So early Umar, especially when Obama was running and when Obama became president and while Obama was in office, Umar would just go off. No reason except for he's envious and jealous because he wants to be on that level. That's why he's always talking crazy. Like, I'm a descendant of, I'm modern day Malcolm X. What he said in 2005. I'm the Black Messiah. I had one time he says, and black people look at Barack Obama as if he's the Black Messiah. No, well, the thing is, Umar, you want to be the Black Messiah. So he felt as if Obama was infringing on his territory. That's how delusional Umar is. Like Obama is trying to be the Black Messiah, but Umar, he's the Black Messiah, and Umar is mine. From the jump, yeah, he was like that with Obama. Thanks, mate. Abdul says, at this point, his psychological babble is mute. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can ask the question, why is he even doing these live streams where he's talking? Well, someone said it because of everything that's going on in politics right now. Umar is trying to position himself so that he can get interviews to talk about these topics. But clearly, it's not as if he's just running his mouth. That's why, and I agree with that person. I think they said that a couple of days ago, that's why he's doing this. Because it makes no sense. All of a sudden, he wants to talk about politics, and he's bringing up George Bush and Barack Obama. Yeah, it's a bunch of babble. Thanks, Abdul. Much Love says he need to read a political science book. And yeah, here's the thing with Umar. He got a double, and I think I said it wrong yesterday's live stream, maybe the live stream before that. Umar got a double major for undergraduate. So it's 1 degree. He counts it as 2. It's 1 degree. The double major is in psychology, which makes sense, and then political science. But Umar takes that double major. He counts it as 2, as if it's a double degree. I explained to people that at that school they offered when Umar was there, they offered a double degree. Okay, the amount of work that goes into that far exceeds a double major. Make sense? A double degree is 2 degrees, whereas a double major is 1 degree. Umar counts his double major as 2 degrees. That's how he gets to 6. He really has 5, which is a great accomplishment, but he lies. He always exaggerates shit. But Umar, he takes his studies in political science as an undergraduate where it's part of a double major, and he then presents himself as if he's some political science pundit, political science genius, expert, etc. But if you listen to him, he ain't saying nothing. And I'm not even into politics, but I can tell. I'm like, what are you talking about? He just running his mouth. Okay, but that's what Umar Johnson does. He'll act. He presents as if he's an expert, just like that one lady. I don't even know her whole name. Cheyenne Bryant. Same thing. If I had more time, I would do a short little documentary on her, but I ain't got time. Thank you. Much love. Seth says, unless information, I can't even buy useless information. I can't even buy ramen noodles with Umar's. Yeah. It's not as if what he's talking about is significant or even practical, meaning that it's something that people can use. That's interesting. Is there, well, no, I have to give him credit. There are things that Umar Johnson says that he will say that people can use, but most of what he says is almost, I don't mean to say it like this, but it's like someone who's extremely lonely and they just need someone to listen to them. And it's not that what they're saying really matters. They just want someone to listen to them. And that's Umar. When he gets on these live streams, it's 10 p.m. and he says, I'm going to go until midnight because I got stuff to do. He ain't got shit to do. He ain't got nobody to talk to. He ain't got, real talk, he don't have nobody that's really going to listen to him. Who going to listen to him? All he do is run his mouth. And then when someone else try to say something, what he say, oh, powerful, power. That means I don't give a shit what you're saying. So I think that social media for Umar is his way to connect, not even connect to people, but to connect to the internet so that he can talk because he wants people to listen to him. And that's why what he says is useless information. Don't nobody give a shit. I don't mean to speak like that, but Umar, don't nobody give a shit what you got to say about none of this. So why are you doing it? Well, the reason why he's doing it is twofold, really. It's because he needs someone to listen to him as he runs his mouth, because that's part of that narcissism and ego, but also because this is his way to beg for money. Those two things. But it's not practical. You got me hungry now. Did I even eat today? Because I've been doing smoothies. My wife had cut up some fruit. I had some cut up fruit and then smoothie, but I haven't eaten. I'm trying to work on these pounds, y'all. Thanks, Seth. And then SH Play, how's it going? Says Umar is just grifting as usual. He's just changing the subject. Yeah. So we can even look at just FDMG. You notice he's not really talking about that in these more recent videos. He'll throw it out there or he'll ask for money, but he's not like giving a whole big explanation about what's the status right now or what this Jamaican immigrant, what the status of all that. He's not even talking about that anymore. So he'll grift it to another topic to get into that because someone explained, and I agree with the person. Again, I'm not into politics, but they were saying that with everything that's going on in politics right now, that Umar's trying to position himself so that he can get interviews where he can speak on these topics, and that's why he's doing this. Plus, he can beg for some money, right? But yeah, it's a grift, and as soon as this dies down with the politics, he ain't gonna be talking about this. He'll go on to something else to try to. Again, a part of it is he just wants people to listen to him. Thanks, SH Play. Hope you're doing all right too. And then Abdul says he's a political spin doctor who is gerrymandering. Okay, all right. Thanks, Abdul. Okay, let's get going, everybody. Here we go.
Or Southern Democrats with Republican values. We call them Dixiecrats. Joe Biden, a Dixiecrat. Bill Clinton, a Dixiecrat. Jimmy Carter, a Dixiecrat. The only one who don't fit the mold was Hussein Obama.
Here he goes.
But Hussein Obama was put in the White House to make black people think you have arrived. Hussein Obama was put in the White House to make black people think you have arrived. I come on here tonight, brothers and sisters. Look it up. You don't know what a Dixiecrat is? Look it up. Did you have social studies class? Did you even go to high school? Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, see how angry he is? What's the word for someone like this? Petulant? See, he's a very unhappy person. And especially right now. That's why he's online. It's almost like this is Umar's therapy. Over up here trying to, he's about to turn into a werewolf. Here we go.
I digress. I digress. I digress.
Yeah, Umar, he up here gerrymandering. Okay.
I've come on here tonight, brothers and sisters.
Yeah, cantankerous. Yeah.
I come on here tonight to say you need to do two things, and you need to.
I wish Jermaine Hill before he created Umar, the fancy character. Yeah, yeah. Isn't that what this is, though? That's what this is. It's amazing that this guy spends 20 years pursuing degrees, certifications, and his core personality is Jermaine, Lil Jermaine. And he ain't even healed. He ain't even gone through the process of getting that healed up. And that's really what all this is sourced from. That's so true. And Dr. Umar Ifatunde Johnson, that's just a fantasy character. That's where he's the most requested. That's where he's King Kong consciousness. These are all different personalities that Umar has. They're characters. Big Papa, a school psychologist. He's not a school psychologist. A child psychotherapist. He's not a child psychotherapist. He's never been a therapist. Period. But he'll say that he is. Okay, this is the fantasy characters. But it could be argued that if Umar, if he was able to heal Lil Jermaine, that there would be no need for all these fantasy characters because he could just be who he is, as opposed to who he pretends to be. And it's not even who, because it's more than one. See, I've talked about this years ago that all these different characters, they're like the shell that protects Lil Jermaine. And depending on the situation, Umar, he'll morph into one of these fantasy characters, like with the SETI rant. That's where that's a King Kong consciousness. Yeah, that's King Kong consciousness. Little thug archetype. You ain't no thug, Lil Jermaine. Cut it out. Marshmallow. But if he had gone through the proper healing, even in his adulthood, there'll be no need for all these characters. Yeah. That's it right there. Yeah, that is it. Yeah, thank you, Broken Palm Trees. And I've expressed this many times in the past that Umar needs to go and get psychological mental health services, which also includes therapy. See, that's why he sits up here inside of his mama closet looking like this. You can't say that someone who is in a good mental state would even do some shit like this. Even looking like this. Look at him. Man. But this is it right there. Thanks, Broken Palm Trees. That's it. Abdul says all the donations is in his belly. Then he digressed. Well, that's another thing. See, I want to tie this back to what Broken Palm Trees was saying, because I did a video. I think it went live today. I was talking about how the donors have enabled Umar, and they've enabled his addictions, including the food addiction. But you see, all of the stuff that Umar is involved in, it's all the distraction from his core issues as Little Jermaine, which gets back to what Broken Palm Tree was saying. See, nothing's going to get right in the first place until Umar gets right in the mind, so that he can start backtracking to start resolving all these issues, all the way back to Little Jermaine. So the addictions, the food addictions, the sex addiction, these are coping mechanisms, okay, not necessarily healthy ones. Okay. Even attention, okay, because he's there's a term for this. He's attention seeking. So that's why he gets online. All the different levels of addiction, the gin, the gambling, okay, food, sex, etc. That's all the distraction from Umar dealing with the core issues associated with Lil Jermaine. And food is another one. That's why, again, like I said, I don't even think it registers. He'll sit up here in his mama closet looking like this, and he doesn't, for whatever reason, I don't get it. Okay. Thanks, Abdul. Simply Complicated said, I notice a pattern with Umar. He will go off trending topics and offer his uneducated opinions just for the clout and attention. Meanwhile, where is the school? He smokes at school. Yeah, okay, all right. Now, you're absolutely right about this. Excuse me. If Umar's main mission was to open up a school, excuse me, then we should expect that when he speaks, 50% of what he's talking about should be relevant to that. At least 50%. I would propose that if you collected millions of dollars, 90% of what you're talking about should be about this school. Doesn't mean that you're specifically talking about FDMG, but you could be talking about, okay, well, this is the curriculum and this is what we're going to be teaching. And these are the different things we're going to be teaching. And I want to break down each one of these over the next 6 months and give you guys a full breakdown of why this is important for these things. But we ain't seen that with Umar. And especially if you're receiving millions of dollars, I would think that 90% of what you're talking about, because that's your life mission and your life goal, right, Umar? But that's not what we see. He talks about whatever's trending. That's why when stuff happens with celebrities, he jumps on it because he wants to get the clout. Umar's a clout. He said everybody else a clout chaser, just like he said everybody else a struggle streamer. He's a struggle streamer. See, and again, I'm not being boastful. I can get 1,000 people on a live just talking about Umar with about 90,000 subscribers on YouTube, which isn't a lot. Umar, he can barely get to 500 people on the live on his Instagram page, and he has over 1 million, I think it's 1.2 followers. But he'll call other people a struggle streamer. He's the one struggle streaming. He struggle streaming inside his mama closet yesterday again. So the point is that Umar, he does this because he is clout. He wants to get clout. And for him, he goes after celebrities. He'll go after Barack Obama. He'll go after politicians. He'll go after athletes. He'll go after comedians. I mean, that was a whole big thing. I think it was last year, or year before that, with him and can't remember his name right now, comedian. But meanwhile, where's the school? You don't hear him talking about that because that's not a priority. See, the priority is getting money out of people and clout chasing. Thank you, Simply Complicated. VW says these groups have budgets for speakers. He's traveling the globe, and I blame these fools for entertaining his foolishness. He's deflecting right now. Yeah, I've talked about this. It's unfortunate. And then also you have another aspect of this, and that's where you have platforms like the Breakfast Club and Art of Dialogue. They have him on, and that lends credibility to Umar. I know it doesn't make sense, but that's how that works. So Umar, he's not being requested like he used to be, and he's like scraping at the bottom of the barrel. But none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for organizations bringing Umar out and platforms having Umar Johnson on to promote him. And even though they're not necessarily straight out promoting him, by having him on, you got a whole new audience that's going to be exposed to Umar. He uses that to his advantage. There's no way that Umar would have been able to get millions of dollars if he had not been on the Breakfast Club. There's no way. Okay. Now, could he have gotten 500, 600, 700,000? Yeah, but millions? No, that wouldn't have happened. So it's unfortunate because on one hand, you have organizations, not as much as in the past, but organizations that support Umar, that bring him out in pain. In some cases, they'll put him up in a motel room, not like it used to be. But then you have platforms that have Umar Johnson on that promote him, and then that becomes clout for Umar so that other organizations, they're going to want to bring him out. Thanks, VW. All my mama says he's deflecting on the inspection questions he gets. Yes, he's not going to address those questions until he comes up with another narrative to explain why things aren't progressing, because that's what Umar Johnson does. Everything is not about why things are moving forward. It's interesting. It's never about why, and I shouldn't say never. Most of the time when Umar talks about FDMG, it's not about what is being done to move things forward and how things are being moved forward. It's always, most of the time, it's about the sabotage and why things are not moving forward. And this is another example. So he's not gonna talk about inspections all that much until he figures something else out to kind of have another sabotage situation that connects to the Jamaican immigrant that's trying to sabotage him, or some excuse. That's what he's trying to. But again, he's spun so many lies. It's difficult at this point for him to come up with the next. He's going to figure something out though, because that's what he does. Okay. Thanks, all my mama. Broken Promise says a couple of years ago, I heard him say he was the second coming of the first. Yeah. Yet here we are looking at a sagging titty dolphin giving advice. Okay. Wow. Yeah. I was working on this upload because this month, every single day, I'm having something uploaded from past live streams. And this one won't come out until at least for another week, I think. But it talks, I give examples of Umar, and he has a God complex. It's a Messiah complex where he feels as if he's the chosen one. This is the language that he uses. And he says he's the Black Christ. He says he's the Black Messiah. He believes that. I have this one interview where he says when he meditates, he envisions himself in heaven, sitting on a throne, looking down on the earth. Okay, who's that? See, this guy, he's out there, but that's head movies. That's Umar in Delulu land. That's what I mean by the mentals. His mentals are way out there. But what do we really see? Well, this is another example right here today. He's sitting up here in his mama closet. He's been homeless since 2019. How are you the chosen when you live in your mama closet? Been homeless since 2019. Don't even have your own vehicle. You ain't got a wife. You got at least 3 baby mamas. You the chosen one? Oh, Umar's delusional, but he really does believe that. He thinks like that. And the other part I ain't gonna get into. Okay, yeah. Thanks, Broken Palm Trees. He's high as a kite. Well, listen, Umar's upset and he's agitated. It could be that he's coming down off of something, because that could be part of it too. And he's angry. See, and it's not just this video; it's the video we were watching over the last couple of days. It's the same thing. Right? Thanks, VW. That's what I'm saying, Broken Palm Trees. If Umar was all that like he pretends to be, okay, why is he always angry all the time? Where's the joy in Umar's life? See, but again, if he's unwilling to change, things aren't going to get better. And he's so arrogant, and he believes that he's the Messiah, the Black. He really believes that foolishness. I have another clip where one of the reasons why how he validates that perspective, that it's really about how he sees himself, is because he's a descendant of Frederick Douglass, which he's not, because his daddy came out and told people, because he took a DNA test, they're not related to Frederick Douglass. What, the DNA lie? No. Anyway, thanks, Broken Palm Trees. And thank you, VW. Broken Palm Trees, do you think he has a mini fridge in the car? No, he ain't got no mini fridge. Ain't no room in there. See, now you probably ain't seen that. Let me go pull this up right quick. You probably, because I ain't seen you in a while, you probably ain't seen this video. 2020, by this time he was living in the mama closet and he flipped the phone. Watch this. Here we go. See this? So I mean, where would he put a mini fridge? Listen, y'all tell me. Where would he put the mini fridge? Is he sitting on it? No, he's sitting in that bum chair right now. Wer ist der Nächste, der sich einmischt? This is the version I downloaded, and when I downloaded it, for some reason it's in German, I think. It's funny. This is who I watch.
Einmischt. Wer ist der Nächste, der sich einmischt? Wer ist der Nächste, der sich einmischt?
This is so ridiculous. Yeah, you ain't seen this.
Wer ist der Nächste? Einmischen.
He's saying who's next to call in. Anyone know German? Translate inside the chat room for us.
Cornel West kandidiert für das Präsidentenamt. Ich habe gehört, er ist gegangen. Er soll seine Party verlassen haben. Er geht zu einer anderen.
I should upload this by itself.
Ich falte meine Klamotten neu. Familie. Das ist alles natürlich. Das ist alles natürlich. Ich muss mich nur um ein paar Klamotten kümmern. Wer ist der Nächste?
German. Who's calling in next? Should I upload this by itself tomorrow? One more time. See, this he flipped the phone. Look at this. Broken Palm Trees. There's a sack of potatoes in the corner. He got a sack of potatoes. I said, what in the world? A whole bunch of different like oils and stuff. and just you can't put no mini fridge up in there. It's impossible unless it's under all these clothes. But that's dangerous. Okay, thanks, Broken Party. Kadar says, why isn't he in his FDMG office? Yeah, I was saying that earlier. Yeah, when was the last? It's been a couple of months now since he even been up there, inside at the very least. I can't remember the last time he was. Yeah, it's been about a month, a little over a month, I think, because he was in there. He was in there wiping down some tables. He wasn't even wiping them down. He was polishing the tables. But yeah, again, 7 years. This is a question for you, Umar Johnson followers. Or let me say it this way, you Umar Johnson supporters. Can you come up with a legitimate reason, not an excuse, but a legitimate reason why it would be that after over 7 years now, 7 years and 3 months, man, after 7 years and 3 months, Umar doesn't even have an office set up in these abandoned buildings that he calls schools in Wilmington, Delaware. Now, think about it, Kadar. If renovations are completed, if renovations are complete, like Umar said in February, I think it was, of 2026, he also said that in August of 2023, if renovations are completed, wouldn't his office be complete too? And if that's the case, why doesn't he live stream inside of his office that's fully renovated instead of live stream inside of Mama Closet? Well, I know why, because renovations aren't completed. See, that makes no sense. And I have videos, Kadar, from back in the day where Umar was saying that he's going to be he's working on the office and that he was going to get the office done, and he still hasn't got the office done. Very suspicious. Thanks, Kadar. Broken House says, damn, Umar done lied so much the English language said hell no. Okay. Yeah, that video is so funny. And I don't know why it did that. I downloaded it, and I have the actual version where he's speaking in English, and for whatever reason it was in German. And I kept pulling that one up, and it's hilarious. I want to upload that just as a standalone video, just a part of it, just for people they can laugh about. It's hilarious. Thanks again, Broken Palm. It's good to see you too. Okay, we got to really make some progress. We're going to go for another hour, maybe 45 minutes, and I want to at least try to get to about through half of this video. That way tomorrow we can finish up with the second half. At least we can try. Okay. Thank you guys, everyone, for tuning on in. Let me check. I haven't checked this in a while. The poll question, are you surprised Umar is back in his mama's closet? 8% said yes. 92% said no. We have 915 votes. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 before we get up out of here. And then our goal for likes today is 400. We are at 412. Okay, so let's be greedy. I'm going to be greedy. Let's go for 500. Okay. And if you're enjoying the show, hit that like button. If you haven't hit that like button yet, it'll only take you about 2 seconds. Okay, thanks again, Broken Palm Trees. Abdul says, in the Quran, it says there will come false prophets, which describes Dr. Chubby. Money slowing, crack, dwindling, ego acronym is easing God out. Well, Umar sees himself as the chosen one. He sees himself as the Black Messiah, as the Black Christ. In fact, he stated that Jesus was born on his birthday, not the other way around. That just goes to show you his mentality. And again, a lot of this is sourced from this idea and notion that he's related to Frederick Douglass. He believes he's special, but he's not. See, Umar is what would be classified as a jinn. I don't mean to be talking like this, but it's the truth. He's a jinn. Okay, he's sneaky. He's a trickster. He'll present himself one way, but that's not who he really is. But he does that so that he can manipulate and exploit people. That's what Umar is. See, I've yet to figure out why it is that Umar, in terms of having character, like having good character and just being a decent human being, why it is that he's the way that he is. He's none of that. And you would think that he would at least try to do better, but maybe that's who he is. And he can't change it. See, I believe that people can change, but again, like I was saying earlier, I think it's fair. I think Umar could change. I don't think he will, though. He studied the Quran. He studied the Bible because he'll say something about the Bible, but evidently none of it's impacted Umar in a positive way. He's still trifling. He's still mean-spirited. He's still manipulative. And he's still in his mama closet. That's what I'm saying. He don't even realize what that means. The fact that he always has to go back to his mama calls and he's angry. He's angry. Yeah, you should be. But you should also make changes. But maybe this is just who Umar is. He's never going to change. I don't think he will. Thanks, Abdul. J7 said, think about it. If he has 20,000 followers that donate $5 a month, check my math, but that's 100,000 a month, and that is only 20K, 20,005 per month. Yeah. Listen, Umar, this guy, he could be doing easily 20K a month. Easily. If he did things right. I mean, I've already talked about, I'm not going to rehash this, but easily he could. Now, he would have to build it up over time, but he could do that. If you have over 1 million followers on Instagram alone, you should be able to pull about 6%, 7% to convert over to some sort of a transaction, financial transaction. Someone let me know what's 6%, 7% of 1 million. Well, he's at 1.2, I think. What's let me go see. If someone do the math, I think it's 1.2. Yeah, 1.2. He has 1.2 million followers. So let me get my calculator. Well, I'll just type it in. What is 6% of 1.2 million? That's 72,000. Let's take this down. Let's take this down to 4%. That's 48,000. And let's go way down. Let's go to 2%. 24,000. Okay. We're going to multiply 24,000 by 5. That's 120,000. That would be 120,000 a month. That would have to be way down the line because he would have to build it up and be consistent enough to build that up over time and scale it. Is it possible? Yeah. But 2%, he should be able to do that. 2%, even if he was on YouTube and he had 100,000, he should be able to pull 2%. I'm talking about conversion into some sort of a financial transaction, whether that is membership or if he has merch and he's selling merchandise or he's providing a service with a link to that where they can sign up for a service, whatever the case may be. He should be able to do that, selling books. But again, he's not knowledgeable enough about social media and about business. And the other thing too, J Civic, is Umar is in survival mode. It's not about building things up over time or building relationships with a fan base or with the viewership or with subscribers or with followers. It's not about that. It's about how can I get the most amount of money with the least amount of effort in the shortest period of time. And that's destructive. It's going to work earlier on, but it's destructive long term. And so he's never been able to build anything of consequence, even though he could be. I'm telling you, Umar should easily be able to be making $200,000 on social media per each year, and a lot of it is residual income. And the other thing is that he would have to be scamming and scheming and going through all this other stuff, which is a lot of mental stress and affects mental health and physical health. He wouldn't have to be, but he's chosen the dark side. That's why he's where he's at, right back inside his mama's closet, angry. Thanks, Jay Civic. Sonia says Umar is deeply unhappy. He's a deeply unhappy man and a misogynist. He clearly hates women and cannot I cannot wrap my mind around why any woman would tolerate him. Listen, this is something, Sonia, because people have asked me about, okay, well, what do these women see in him? I can't answer that. I really can't. Okay, I cannot answer that. What I think is that the standard has been set so low, and I don't mean to talk like this, but in general, the standard has been set very low for Black men. I think part of it is that there's a lot of women that they've dealt with men who are low character, and so that's lowered the bar over generations at this point. Okay, again, there's a lot of good men out there, a lot of good men of character, good men who will make fantastic husbands and partners and mates and would be great fathers to their children. But I think that the standard has been set so low for different reasons. And it's not just Umar. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that Umar has contributed to that. The stereotype that he epitomizes all the worst worst qualities, that the stereotypical qualities of a black man. Okay. He don't have his own home, don't have his own car. He's living off of his mama at the age of 51, lies inside of mama's closet. He's been homeless since 2019. He don't pay his child support. He got at least 3 baby mamas. Okay. He talks crazy and reckless. Okay. And the list goes on and on and on, right? He's irresponsible. He's a deadbeat. He don't take care of his kids. The list goes on and on and on. But I think the standard has been set so low. And then you have the social media influence. Social media for a lot of people, men and women, it creates a gap between reality and fantasy. And the fantasy, in terms of how Umar, at least he attempts to present himself, a lot of people buy into that, including women, and they'll give up the draws because of it. I don't get it. Why would you give? I'm not trying to be critical, but why would any woman give up the draws to someone who don't take care of his own kids? Well, standards. He don't have a job, don't have a legitimate business, but there are women who give up the booty. Why? Standards. The standard's been set lower. Now, there's other women like, no, that's crazy. Okay, well, they have a higher standard. See, what I've learned in life is that if you set the standard high, men who truly love women, they're going to do whatever they can to meet that standard. They may not necessarily reach it all the way, but they're going to strive to get there. Same thing for you men. You set the standard. Okay, the woman has to, she has to be kind. This is just me. She has to be kind. She has to be joyful. She has to be loving, nurturing, fun to be around. Right? I can run down a whole list. Yeah, fine too. Yeah, okay. You set a particular standard. But if you have a low standard, then you're going to accept any old thing. That's part of the problem. Well, I think social media has a big impact because people perceive the social media influencers, people on social media, as if they're God's gift. But Umar used to live in the mama closet. So again, I can't answer that. I really can't, because that's something that women, all I can say is that it's about standards. And if you set a low standard, then someone like Umar, okay, I guess for some women, it's going to make sense. They give up the draws. And he's unhappy. Why would you even want to be around someone like that, let alone give up the draws? And he's a misogynist. Yeah. Okay, well, standards. Okay, thanks, Sonia. Abdul says the jinn is mentioned in the Quran. Yeah. And Umar, and he knows about that too. He knows about that. He's also like a shapeshifter. I don't know if the jinn shapeshift, but Umar's like a shapeshifter. Okay, he'll change it to whatever he needs to be to manipulate people. He don't even know who he is. That's why in my notes, when I take notes, I have this thing that is identity crisis. He don't even know who he is because he's been just changed. He can change whoever he needs to be in order to manipulate. Thanks, Abdul. Psalm says the SETI rant was the beginning of the end as far as the world viewing him as an intellectual. He lost a lot of support. His image never recovered. Absolutely agree. I think that was the the single most important video that a person can watch when it comes to Umar and who he truly is. Again, angry, vitriol, hateful, spiteful, disrespectful, angry, extremely angry, emotionally insecure, emotionally immature. So yeah, that was huge in this whole Umar Johnson timeline. There's particular events in the Umar Johnson timeline that are like, I'll call them benchmarks to kind of measure what Umar is really about. And that SETI rant, if anyone hasn't seen it, that is a single most important video, if you can get through the whole thing, that anyone could watch to see who Umar truly is. He's not intellectual. He's like a little child throwing a tantrum, little Jermaine throwing a tantrum. Absolutely right. And he lost a lot of support. Right? Thanks, Psalms. Kadar says Umar will address the Kevin Hart roast next. I'm sure he will. Again, that's part of the clout chasing. Anything that he can grift to in order to clout chase, he's going to do that. And then sometimes he'll say things just to be controversial, even though he doesn't believe it. Yeah, So we can look out for that because he's been saying that he's going to be what is the Art and Dialogue? I don't know if he is, because sometimes he says he's not even scheduled. But if he is, we'll look and see what he's talking about. Okay. Thanks, Kadar. Yeah, my wife, she was watching some of that the other day. And she was skipping through because she wanted to see the Cat Williams part of it. Anyway, thanks, Kadar. Okay, let's keep going here. We're going to go for another 35 minutes. Here we go. Oh, wait, I already showed this one. I want to hear him talking in I think it's German.
Wer ist der Nächste, der sich einmischt? Wer ist der Nächste, der sich einmischt? Wer ist der Nächste, der sich einmischt?
Okay,
I come on here tonight to say you need to do two things and you need to do it soon. I come on here tonight to say you need to do two things and you need to do it soon. Number one, get your passport. Please get your passport.
Huh? What?
Get a passport for your husband. Get a passport for your wife. Get a passport for your son. Get a passport for your daughter. Get a passport for your elders. Get a passport for your toddlers. Get a passport for everyone in your family. Black people, listen.
Passport for your toddler?
Listen to me. Get your passport.
This guy.
Things are getting crazy, and they're getting crazy quick in this country.
Yeah, it's all fear-based. That's where he's going with this. He needs some orange glow for his beard. Well, again, Kiara, right now he's in a bad space, so he's not taking care of and manicuring himself like he normally does when he'll do a live stream. This isn't uncommon. It's happened many times in the past. You know, he's in his mama closet, and he looks disheveled, and that's where he's at right now. He ain't worried about that because he's in deep survival mode right now. He trying to get money out of people. Thanks, Kiara.
Get your passport and make sure everyone in your family has one in case.
Okay, by the way, Pistons are up 95-89 over the Cavaliers. Fourth quarter, 5 minutes and 25 seconds to go. This is the NBA playoffs being excellent.
We have to evacuate under emergency circumstances.
Oh, cut it out, Umar.
Make sure, Alafia, Baba, I haven't forgotten you, Baba. I will definitely reach out. Alafia. Make sure you have a alternative African country or island in mind that you and your family will escape to in event of an emergency. Make sure you have identified an African country,
oh my goodness,
or a Central or South American country,
this guy,
or a Caribbean island that is ruled by Africans that you and your family can escape to. I don't care if it's Jamaica.
There you
I
go.
don't care if it's Nigeria. I don't care if it's Bermuda. I don't care if it's Ghana. I don't care if it's Costa Rica. I don't care if it's Ethiopia. I don't care if it's Panama. I don't care if it's the Congo.
Roll call.
But you had better identify your adoptive home in case the American African community has to evacuate.
Yeah, I'm going to
under
Wakanda.
Emergency circumstances.
What's up, Yellow Man?
Now, for my FBA and ADOS brothers and sisters.
Here you go.
For my FBA and ADOS brothers and sisters, I'm a black freedman, but I don't identify with those organizations. I want to know, what is the FBA ADOS plan to help black people as a result of the Supreme Court decision? And if martial law comes to this country and comes...
Here he go. Martial law. Okay, Alex Jones. He's a black convict, Alex Jones.
To the black community, because you Negroes been running around. You Negroes been running around talking about you haven't left nothing in Africa. You've been running around telling people you have more in common with white Americans than black Africans. You've been running around acting like black immigrants were the worst problem you have.
Yeah,
what do you have to say now?
Why not?
What does FBA and ADOS have to say now that the Supreme Court has gutted the Voting Rights Act? That they can now legally break up any black voting district in America, making the black vote almost irrelevant. What is your plan to help our people? Because black immigrants had nothing to do with what the Supreme Court did. There are no African immigrants on the Supreme Court. There's no Caribbean African immigrants on the Supreme
Court. What are you talking about? Again, someone in the chat, anyone in the chat room who is into politics, can you please explain to me why is that? What is he?
Supreme Court. There's no Canadian African immigrants on the Supreme Court. There's no Central.
A Canadian African immigrant? What do you? I don't know.
American African immigrants on the Supreme Court. There's no South American African immigrants on the Supreme Court. There's no continental Africans on the Supreme Court. There's no Canadian Africans, no British African, no Australian African immigrants on the Supreme Court. So you can't blame the black immigrants for what just happened. But because you have more in common with white Americans than black Africans, I need to know, what is your plan to save our people in the event of a crisis? Get your passport. Get your passport.
You're crazy.
Get your passport. Also, get you some self-defense.
Yeah. I mean, people should prepare, but I don't know what exactly is he saying people should prepare, being prepared for exactly, because of the Supreme Court situation. I don't know. He's saying martial law, but why would there be martial? Because listen, I'm not into politics, but I know what martial law is, because that was a main theme back in the day. And it may still be, but in the conspiracy theory paradigm, the conspiracy theory paradigm is much different now than it was when I was in it. Back then, it was all over the YouTube. A lot of that stuff, including Alex Jones, they get banned. It's a lot more strict. It's stricter. That makes sense. But I know what martial law is, and there's so many people who promoted that back in the day. They said martial law is that it's going to happen because of this is going to happen. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. So for Umar to bring it up here, I don't see how he's drawing the conclusion that martial law is going to happen and that we need to be prepared for that because of what I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, but should people be prepared for? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, out here where I stay, that's part of the culture. Guns, and I kid you not, there's people, because it's open carry, there are people that walk around with guns. That's first I said, what the black people, when it comes to guns, we think of guns different. You know what I mean? But it's part of culture out here. And then prep and stuff, you know, they'll have whole, like I don't know what they call it. I can't remember what that's called, but there'll be stuff in like dried out food and stuff and different things. They have it in big buckets and they have it all packed up and everything in cans, and you know what I'm saying? So I get that. But how he's drawing a correlation to what's happening with Supreme Court and martial law, I don't get. That's the part I don't get. Now, again, I'm not into politics, but I understand what martial law is. Maybe someone can explain that to me in the chat room, how there's a connection here, if any. Thanks, TJ. Hey, T. Jones, how you doing? Says Umar is not going overseas anytime soon because of that federal law regarding back support. Yeah, you're talking about child support. Thank you. And revoking of passport just for information. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Why is Umar bringing up this issue of a passport just because you want to leave the country just in case? No, there's this whole thing going on right now where people who are on back haven't paid child support up to a certain amount, their passport is getting revoked, and it hasn't been determined. From what last time I checked, it hasn't been determined exactly how much that will be. Okay. I saw 120,000. Okay. And that was just something that I saw, like, I don't know, Reddit or something like that. But I would have to go and look, because who knows what that figure will be, if it will actually happen. But I think that's one of the reasons why Umar is bringing this up, because he don't pay child support on time. See, that's what I'm saying with Umar, is always smoke and mirrors. He'll try to talk all this politics stuff, but it's really, one of these issues is personal to him, and that is his passport. Okay. Again, Umar has had his driver's license revoked at least 3 times due to non-payment of child support. Could it be that he's thinking about whether or not at a certain point his passport is going to be revoked because of non-payment? Maybe. Highly likely. Okay. Thank you for bringing this up, T. Jones. You're absolutely right. Library Brockton says he is talking about his escape plan for when people start holding him accountable for the donations he has received despite delivering nothing. And we've talked about this more recently because Umar, I can't remember what the video was right now, but he said something and he was talking about I'm thinking about, and I'm paraphrasing, me and my mom just moving to Africa. And we were like, what did he just say? It was on a recent video. It was probably, I think it was last week. Was it last week or the week before? I can't remember. But that was a moment where everyone was like, wait a minute, maybe that's what this is. And people have proposed this in the past. I even proposed in the past. I just didn't think that it was likely because of his mama's health situation, right? For him to make them, that's a huge undertaking. Okay, to move to a whole nother continent, all the way across, her health situation. But maybe that is part of what he's concerned. No, it is. He's thought about that at the very least. Is it a plan? Maybe. See, who's to say that Umar ain't sent 100K over to Africa somewhere over the last 14 years? Excuse me. 2012, he was receiving donations. Let's go with 2000 because that was at the end of 2012. Let's say 2013. 13 years. Let's say let's give him some grace. Over the last 13 years, is it possible? Yeah. Well, $100,000. What are you gonna do? Well, the conversion rate over there in Africa. Let's say in Ghana, what could you do with 100,000? Or what if it's a 200,000? Okay. Now, am I saying that that's what he's done? No. But I'm saying that if he has a plan to make a move like that, I wouldn't put it past him. What can you buy with 100K in Ghana? That's approximately 1.13 million GHS as of May 2026. You can purchase a studio or 1-bedroom apartment in prime Accra areas like Continents or Lebon, if I apologize, but or build a house in developing areas. It is also enough to start an agricultural business such as a poultry cassava or cassava farming or invest in real estate land banking. Yeah, Umar gonna build a cassava farm. Can you imagine Umar trying to get the cassava? All right. Anyway, thanks, Library Blockchain. I mean, it could be part of the long-term plan. And I've heard him in the past talking about moving to Africa. And after the school, it is the good twin, bad twin interview. He was like, once the school gets built, I'm going to start having to think about moving to Africa. I said, what? All right. Okay. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for all the super chats, everybody. Okay, we're going to go for another 20 minutes. Here we go.
And y'all know what I mean by self-defense. Make sure your self-defense is ready. Make sure your passport is ready. And if you are an African,
here you go,
in America, who does not live in a predominantly black neighborhood, I think you might want to relocate to a predominantly black neighborhood between now and Election Day on November the 3rd. I'm concerned about the same.
What in the world is this guy talking about? Curvin? I don't know what this guy's talking about. Somebody play. This guy look like he could be my cousin. What's up, Curvin? Shout out. Rated R for Robin says Umar said on the Chop with T podcast that he was thinking about taking. Yeah, that's what it was about taking he and his mom and moving to Africa if things don't work out with this guy. So, I mean, even for him to propose that means he's at least thought about it. But again, I don't think logistically and based upon his mother's health, that this is something that he could do. Is it possible? Yeah, but I don't think that it's likely. But the fact that he's thinking like that, again, he made a promise back in 2010 to open up a school for 2013, and all of the money that he's raised was supposed to go towards that. And he's talking about moving to Africa. Listen, let's be clear. Most of the money that Umar Johnson has received is from African Americans, black people up over here. Most of the money. overwhelmingly. Now he's gotten money from people over in the UK. Shout out to the UK. People in South America. Shout out people in South America and Africa. Yeah, shout out to Africa. Okay. And probably some China. Probably people in China too. There's black people in China. All right? There are. There's plenty of them. Including. Let me stop. Let me stop. But so if most of the support has come from black people or African Americans, then that school should be here in the United States of America, in my opinion. Okay, but again, it's never going to be a school, so that's like a moot point. But you guys see what the point that I'm making. Okay, thanks, rated R for Robin. The fact that he's thinking about that's very telling in and of itself. Okay, thank you. Did I get to everybody? Yeah, I think I got to everybody. Okay, let's keep going. Here we go.
Safety of my people in this country between now and Election Day, November the 3rd. So if you do not live in a black community, if you one of those, I live in a white neighborhood, I think I'm better than black people who don't, you better rethink that. You better rethink that. Now, there was a Southern politician who said he wants the Supreme Court to revisit the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment. He wants the Supreme Court to overturn the 14th Amendment. Now, see, I've been teaching on this for years, but y'all didn't want to listen to me. I've been teaching on this for years, but y'all didn't want to listen to me. And I told you, any amendment to the Constitution that contradicts the intent of the founding fathers of this country, not my country, this country, anything in the Constitution that contradicts the intent of the original founding fathers of America, most of whom were racist, all of.
Wow. By the way, end of the fourth quarter, they're going into overtime. Cavaliers 103, Pistons 103. Awesome. Yeah, this NBA finals NBA playoffs been awesome.
Whom were racist, and most of whom owned enslaved Africans.
Okay, yeah, thanks, TJ. Yes, that is a fact. He's right about the 14th Amendment. Okay, yeah, and again, we give Umar credit when he is correct, and he does say some things from time to time. Okay, I get it. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. But that just goes to say, I've tried my best to be fair with Umar. I've made mistakes. Okay, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I'll never have told people that everything that he says is untrue or that he's lying about everything, but he lies about a lot of stuff. Okay, but we will give him credit when he does good. Okay, we pat him on his head and say, keep going, do the right thing, Umar. Thanks, CJ. East Point says, but he told folks not to vote. Absolutely. So why is he even talking about this? East Point, you're not the only one that's brought this up, because someone in one of the comment sections for one of these more recent videos, I think it was from yesterday, it might have been the day before yesterday, they were like, well, why is Umar even talking politics when he's told black people consistently not to vote in the first place? It's hypocritical. And again, I've always been straight honest with people. I've never, I voted the last time, okay, for the presidency. I voted, okay. Never told people who I voted for, but I did vote. And I talked, because we were talking about it, and I said, okay, I should vote because I'm talking about it. So I went ahead and voted. Prior to that, I'd never voted because I've never been engaged in politics. It's just not my realm. So for some people, they enjoy it as part, and it's important. And civically, yeah, maybe I should be more involved, but it's just, I never have been. Don't hold it against me, okay? I guess you could. But the point is that if I got on here and told people that they shouldn't vote, but then I'm talking politics and talking about voters' rights, why it just doesn't make any sense. It's hypocritical in my opinion. Similarly, if I told people to vote, but I don't vote, that's hypocritical too. So Umar, he's hypocritical in these regards. He's told black people for decades now. Is it decades? Over a decade, I should say it that way, based upon my research, that he doesn't vote, and that the political system and blah blah blah, black people shouldn't vote, etc. But he'll talk politics. Okay, but it's a grift in essence. That's why he's doing this. Thank you, East Point. and I don't really like using the word grift, but in this case it is. It's like clout chasing. He go for whatever you can get into to get attention. Thanks, East Point. Perry says the average American can afford to relocate to their grandmama's house for free, and he's talking about relocating to Africa or to a black neighborhood. Yeah, that's good. I didn't even think about this, Perry, but you're absolutely right. Have you guys seen gas prices? Just gas prices alone. Most people ain't. I mean, real talk. How many of us? And I know I can't because I got too many kids. Plus, I'm not trying to go move over to Africa. Not right now, at least. Shit. Okay. My wife, she wanted to go live in Jamaica at some point. I was like, I don't know about all that. They got alligators down there? I don't know. I don't play with alligators. Okay. Alligators and crocodiles. You ain't gonna catch me in Florida. Them beasts, them things, they've been around for, that's the reason why they've been around long. They're like dinosaurs. That's why they look like that. Because they're savage. Anyway. The point I want to make is most people can't afford to move. You know, he's talking about moving to another country. How many of us, especially if you got kids, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna vote Deshaun this year because I voted last year, so I'm gonna go ahead and vote again. Okay, I will. I ain't gonna tell people who I'll vote for though, because then people be mad at me. That's the part I don't like about politics is people be. I mean, you have a right to vote, but don't. If I vote for someone you don't like or you didn't vote, don't be mad at me and call me a tether. I don't know. I have to come up with something. I was gonna say something else, but I'm not gonna use that word, that N word. Okay. And not the one that most people are thinking. I'm talking about the one that Umar uses in play. Okay. But the point is, most people can't relocate like that. So it makes no sense for Umar to even be talking like this. It's expensive. And the more kids you got, the more expensive it is. Anyway. Thanks, Perry. I didn't even think about that, but you're absolutely right. James says $2,500 or more black child. $2,500 or more back child support. Okay, all right. Yeah. Umar, he shouldn't even be thinking about moving. He need to be paying that child support, what he needs to be doing. You know what, James? It reminds me of my daughter. She'd be, hey, Dad, what would you prefer? She always does this. Listening to a Kanye, she always talk about Kanye West. Listen to a Kanye West album or eating a hamburger with real meat. I said I would listen to the Kanye West album. Okay. Dad, what would you prefer? She keeps going. I said, that's what kids doing these days. Okay, thanks, James. Kogo says that why he got a PayPal candy bar around his neck. He got the cowrie sales. That's the PayPal, the payday. Yeah, I remember payday. Do they still got payday? Yeah, I sure do remember those payday bars, right? I sure do remember. Yeah. I remember those peanuts. Yeah, but like caramel. Yep, I sure do remember those. My favorite though, back in the day, Coco. My favorite. What's up, information man? Good to see you in the building. Salute, sir. Always gotta show respect. My favorite back in the day was Snicker bar and Butterfingers. Those are my two favorite right there. Yep. I like Mars bars too because I think the Mars bars had the coconut in it. No, I didn't like that one. That wasn't the one I liked. There was another one. I can't remember. It had coconut in it with chocolate around it, and then it had two almonds. Was it Almond Joy? Almond Joy. Yeah, that was it right there. I used to love that, but my favorite was Butterfinger and Snickers. Yep. Anyway, that's old people. You know, my kids, they don't eat stuff. They won't eat that. It's funny because when we were growing up, we would eat cereal a lot. Okay, when we had it. Okay, and depending on money situations, sometimes it'd be Captain Crunch or Fruit Loops. But then when money would be difficult, then it'd be like Corn Flakes or Frosted Flakes, or there's this other one that was real hard to bite. It was like Wheat Checks, not Wheat Checks, but wheat things. And sometimes they had the little white powder on top of them. So it would just, and Corn Flakes. So But we would eat that. But we would get cereal for our children. They wouldn't even eat it. I was shocked. I said, what in the world? Something wrong with y'all? Yeah, I used to love me some Cocoa Puffs. I sure did. Yep. Yeah, and malto meal, that was my favorite. Cream of wheat and malto meal. Yep. My grandma used to make that for us. She would make she would also make cream of wheat, malto meal, and because every once in a while I have it still to this day. Oats, she would make that. And then one of the big things that we would make, that she would make, would be we would have rice and milk. We would put sugar in it, and it'd be rice and boy, that was one of my favorite back in the day. Anyway, yeah, shredded wheat, that's the one. East B, that's the one. Yep. I remember Cinnamon Toast Crunch too. Yep. King Strength sent in a super sticker. Thank you so much. You guys are so gracious. Thank you guys so much. And I am content. Thank you so much. Umar, he said, next time make it 40, Yeah, I remember cinnamon. Thanks, King Strat too, for the what you call it. Yeah, I remember corn pops. Yep, Captain Crunch was the main one. Yeah, shredded wheat. Yeah, I didn't like it though. I mean, I would eat it because we eat whatever we could eat. Yeah, we didn't get the pancakes. Yeah, I remember Cookie Crisp. It's basically cookies. It's little cookies. That's for breakfast. I remember that. Cheerios. Yep, Cheerios. Honeycomb. I used to love that honeycomb. Yep, I sure did. Bought King Vitamin and Captain Crunch so much I can't even stand the smell. I don't know what King Vitamin is. Let me look that up right quick. King Vitamin. And then they had Captain Crunch with the Crunch Berries too. Yeah, no, I never had this. I never had the King Vitamin. Yeah, it's a breakfast cereal introduced by Quaker Oats. Yeah, I never had that. Let me look at an image of it. No, I did. It looks good. No, maybe I did. Wait a minute. I think I have had that before, but not many times. Yeah, I think I have had that. Yeah, that's old school right there. Yep. You like rice cereal? Yeah, they have rice cereal. They also had the rice cereal that had the crisp, they had Cocoa Crisp too, and it would the Snap Pop, Crack Popple Snap, whatever it was. Y'all remember that? Because we used to get it. We would listen. that was back in the day. That was a good days, y'all. That was good days. Yeah, I used to love peanut butter crunch too. Yep, I sure did. Yep. It's frosted mini wheats. Okay. Yeah, I remember whatchamacallit bars were good too. I like those too. Yep. Golden Grams. I don't remember Golden Grams. Let me see. Golden Grams. Have I had? Yeah, I've had that before, but not that much. Yeah, I didn't have that. Well, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I remember Toasty O's. Yep. Yeah. Smacks. That Smacks had the little it was a frog. Yep. Yeah, I remember Mr. T cereal, but we didn't really get that because it was, yeah. I've never heard of strawberry mini wheats. Maybe I had, let me look. Strawberry mini wheats. No, I don't think I had that when I was a child. You might be younger though, Mary. That might have came a little bit later. Yeah, I remember Kicks. Yep. I never had this one though, the Weetabix. Yeah, Smacks. Yeah, Sugar Smacks. Wasn't it Honey Smacks though? I thought it was Honey Smacks. Anyway, okay, let's get back on track. Yeah, Wheaties. Makes sense. I love me some pancakes. Okay, Rice Krispies, half a grapefruit. Yeah, Green King Vitamins to go. Okay, let's get back to it. We got blown off at the apple cinnamon. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I've had apple cinnamon. That was later though. Which was Tony the Tiger? I don't remember, but I know. Let's see, Tony the Tiger. I don't remember what cereal that was though. Tony the Tiger. Yeah, that was Frosted Flakes. Yep. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. That's a long time ago. I had to think about that, but I remember Tony the Tiger. Yeah, I remember Tricks too. Okay, let's get back to it. We got blown off. Here we go. Shout out to everyone in the Good Question. We were having a good time. Here we go.
All of the founding fathers of America were racist, and most of the founding fathers of America owned enslaved Africans. And the Constitution, which is a pro-slavery document, let's be clear.
Yeah, TJ had said earlier that Lenon, he's talking about the 1965 Civil Rights Act and what the Supreme Court and our current president is doing to reduce our rights. Yeah. I think you told me this before too. So thank you for that information. I think it was like I don't know if it was yesterday or live stream before that. Yeah, it's just that I don't know enough about it to understand what Umar is talking about. But the other thing is that he's drawing correlations and connections that I think is ridiculous. So there's issues with the 1965 Civil Rights Act, but how does that translate to martial law and people needing to move potentially to another country or to another country or to another continent? That's the part that I really don't get. Okay, so thank you for the clarification. I appreciate it. And thank you for the super chat as well. Let me see. Did I get to everybody? Listen to Malcolm X, the Ballad of the Bullet. Yeah, I've listened to that before. Yeah, I certainly have. Yeah, Malcolm X, that was my main guy growing up. I'd read the autobiography of Malcolm X. One of my teachers gave it to me. I was in the 11th grade, I think, because at that time there was the Malcolm X medallions and Spike Lee's Malcolm X had just come out, and she gave me the autobiography of Malcolm X. She was cute too. I had a crush on her. Well, I'll tell you, I remember it was for Halloween, and she came in with I don't know what they call that, but cowboys and cowgirls wear, where it's leather pants that go on the sides, and then she had on some boots with the little things on the back of them and a vest, a leather vest. I said, "Oh my God, woman, if you don't stop." Anyway, thanks, TJ. Okay, I think I got that. I hope I didn't miss anybody. This is how we got blown off. It was Kogel's fault, so we was blaming it on him. Okay, let's go.
Clear. I hope y'all listening to me.
I'm listening.
The U.S. Constitution is a pro-slavery document. And according to constitutional law, any amendment in the Constitution that contradicts the intent of the racist, slave-owning founding fathers of this country is automatically unconstitutional. Now, the 13th Amendment ended slavery except as a punishment for a crime. Except as a punishment for a crime. Except as a punishment for a crime. Once you go to jail, you are a ward of a state. You are in bondage. You are a slave. That's why our brothers and sisters in prison don't even make minimum wage, because they have been stripped of all rights. They are slaves. They still slave for the corporations in prisons. They are slaves. The prison is a plantation. And the reason they keep so many black people locked up in America's prisons is so we can work for damn near nothing, slaving for America's corporations.
What do you mean we? I'm not working in no prison for what are you talking about?
The prison system is the new plantation system. They still pick cotton, and they still have their labor exploited by America's.
They still pick cotton? Is that true? They got these people in prison picking cotton? That's wrong. Listen, I have to say, if that's happening, that's wrong. When we having these imprisoned individuals picking cotton, that's not right. That's not right, y'all.
Corporations. Now, if the U.S. government,
I don't know,
is able to force the U.S. Supreme Court to revisit the 14th Amendment, which gives you equal protection under the law. When slavery ended in 1865.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no, I get that, but he said picking cotton. I'm about to look that up. That's not right. Like, you can't be. Don't have the people picking cotton. Okay. They also make Victoria's Secrets. Oh man, I didn't know that. My goodness. All right, let me go look this up right quick.
Black freedmen had no protections. When the 13th Amendment was ratified in December of 1865, black freedmen had no protections. It wasn't until the 14th Amendment was ratified a few years later that we...
Oh my God, it's true. It says, yes, in some U.S. southern states, prison inmates still pick cotton and perform other... The cotton part, that's wrong. Now, if they picking corn, fine. Apples, oh yeah. But don't have them pick. That's not right, y'all. Picking cotton. Why don't that? That's crazy, y'all.
got some paper protections. The 14th Amendment provides you with equal protection under the law. And the 14th Amendment is what allows.
Because they have technology that they don't have to use human beings. There's something called a cotton picker and a cotton stripper machine. Why would they have human beings doing that? That's not right, y'all. I mean, they could just, anyway.
For birthright citizenship to exist. It is the 14th Amendment.
Yeah, I know. It's not just that they would have black people picking. They would have other people picking it too. White people, you know. I get that, but you know what I'm saying? That's not, that's because of the history here. Now, I think that that's wrong. You know? Anyway.
That's supposed to give you due process, the right to defend yourself when you're accused of a crime. What were black people between the 13th Amendment?
They need to train some stuff. I wanted to say this so bad, but I said I shouldn't do it. But they need to train these monkeys. The monkeys are smart. Just train the monkeys to do it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wanted to say that earlier, but I said that's too far. The monkeys can. Y'all know them monkeys. They can take the heat. Come on, you ain't gotta feed them or nothing. They eat the bugs that are over there on the cotton anyway. You know what I'm saying? Just train the monkeys. Get about 500 of them monkeys. Send them to FDMG. He'll train them. Okay, let me stop. I wanted to say that so bad, but I said that's too far. But I couldn't help myself. Okay. Yeah, those monkeys are smart.
In the 14th Amendment.
They might complain a little bit, but not that much.
What was our status in America between the 13th Amendment and the 14th Amendment, brothers and sisters?
Just gotta do is hide some bananas in the field. They'd be all right. Don't let them see the don't let them see the bananas. Just hide them. So that it's like it's like a treat. They discover it while they're picking the cotton. They'll be so happy. They ain't complaining about nothing. It's like a surprise. All right.
Sisters, that is a question. That is a question.
That's stupid.
What was the status of black freedmen between the ratification of the 13th Amendment in 1865 and the ratification of the 14th Amendment in 1868? 3 years later. Really 2 years later, because the 13th got passed in December. So 2 years later, for 2 years, we were not citizens of this country. What do you call someone? We weren't immigrants. We weren't citizens.
Excuse me.
We weren't refugees. So what was the status of black freedmen in America between the 13th Amendment in 1865 and the 14th Amendment in 1868? You wasn't an immigrant. You wasn't a citizen. And you wasn't a refugee. You know what your status was?
What?
You were a denizen. Okay. Has anybody ever heard of the word denizen? I need you to look up the word denizen.
I'll look it up.
Not to be confused with citizen. We were denizens, but
a denizen is an inhabitant, resident, or frequent occupant of a particular place, region, or environment. It refers to someone or something like an animal or plant or a monkey that lives. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That lives or is established in a specific place. The term can also describe a naturalized foreign word or historically a foreigner granted certain rights as long as they pick cotton like a monkey in the cotton field. Okay.
Between 1865 and 1868. Let me give you the definition of denizen. Denizen is an inhabitant, resident, or frequent visitor of a particular place, environment, or
Denizen,
region.
Washington. Okay.
Denizen. denizen. Black people were denizens in America between 1865 and 1868. Okay? You were denizen. D-E-N-I-Z-E-N. Now, what is a citizen? Citizen is a legally recognized member of a sovereign state.
You might really think he's teaching something. Okay.
A citizen is a legally recognized member of a sovereign state who owes allegiance to the government and is entitled to the protection and privileges. Let me ask y'all a question. A denizen is a visitor or a resident or an occupant of a given location. That is a denizen. A citizen is a legal member of a particular state who is entitled to the rights and the privileges of that state. Which definition do you feel fits Black freedmen in America today? Which definition do you feel fits Black freedmen in America today? Do you think we are citizens, legal members of the U.S., who are entitled to the privileges, rights, and protections of America? Does that sound like us? Or does it sound like we are people occupying a land in which we exercise no rights, privileges, or protections? Dr. Umar, why are you bringing this up? What difference does it make whether we are denizens or citizens?
Yeah, we'll get to this point.
You know why it matters?
Why?
If the Supreme Court takes up the 14th Amendment and overturns your right to equal protection under the law, if the U.S. Supreme Court takes up the 14th Amendment.
Yeah, what the hell is Umar doing? What is the history by two? What in the history of Timu Hotep Tunde is going on here? This is a crazy deflection. Yeah, I don't know. I can't call it. I can't. Obviously, I mean, he's in a bad place anyway. Remember when he did the Kobe Bryant rant? No one can really explain why he would go on that rant and all the crazy stuff he was talking about. No one can explain that except to say that he was in a bad space mentally. And it looked like he had been binging, for a couple of days or maybe a week or so. And he was just in a bad space. I think he's close to that, not close, but he's going in that direction in this video. It clearly to me looks disheveled. But what's the point? I don't know. Again, there's someone that suggested that because everything's going on in politics, he's trying to capitalize on this, and it's more of a grift. He's trying to. I think that's part of it. I also think it's just Umar. He's unhappy. He's lonely. He wants people to listen to him. So he gets online in his mama's closet and he starts running his mouth. Yeah, that's Umar. Again, he's not talking about FDMG though. See, people didn't pay Umar. I shouldn't even say it that way. People didn't send Umar millions of dollars so that he can get up here in his mama's closet talking about martial law and all this. Well, anyway. Thank you, KK, for being a member for 21 months. The Freight Train says, what if Umar maneuvers his way onto CNN or Fox News? That would be highly unlikely at this point in Umar's internet career. Potentially, that could have happened earlier on. Yeah. For instance, let's say Umar in his heyday, when he was really kind of presenting as a professional, he would dress in suits and ties, and he would get a lot of his rhetoric was over the top, though, anyway. But I think that would have been the time period if his rhetoric wasn't so over the top, because a lot of the stuff, as he says, is racist. Let's just be real about it. But that would have been the time where he had some level of credibility as a professional. And even before his heyday in terms of the speaking circuit, if we go back to when he was actually working as a school psychologist, he could have given social commentary. I could see that. But at this point, no, his reputation is trash. The types of videos that he's done over the SETI rant. I mean, would Fox News have him on after seeing the SETI rant, or CNN have him on after seeing the SETI rant? I don't think so. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. But I think that in 2026, he's so far away from any semblance of respectability that I don't think that a platform like CNN or Fox News would have him on. And I'm talking about the mainstream Fox News and the mainstream CNN, not like affiliates or anything like that. Okay, so I'm saying Umar, it's like the amount of opportunities that he could have maximized on are significant, but he chose to side with the dark side, and he's been spiraling out of control to this day. Okay, he's still spiraling. Okay, I just want to thank you, Freight Train. Thanks everyone too. Everyone in Quick Rush Chat. Let me close out this poll as we wind this down. We had over 1,141 votes. Are you surprised Umar is back in his mama's closet? 9% said yes. 92% said no. I'm not surprised at all. In fact, I told people he's going to end up after this. You know, a month from now, if he's out doing other stuff, he's going to end up back in mama's closet. Thanks everyone who voted on that. He gets online in his mama's closet. Leonard, you funny. What did I say? No, he does. He gets online in his mama's closet. That's what I'm saying. It makes no sense. He's raised millions of dollars. It's not like he doesn't have a building or buildings, because there's 3 of them, even though he said that there's 4. One time he said that there's 5. There's 3 buildings. Why wouldn't he live stream in his own professional office? No one can tell me, Umar Johnson fathers included, you can't give me a reasonable excuse not an excuse, a reason why Umar in 2026 doesn't have a professional office to live stream out of. And wouldn't it make a difference for this whole campaign to open up a school, and he needs money for it, to have a professional office? You know, I already told him. I told him exactly what he should do years ago, and I've told him over and over again, like a big brother would tell a little brother. He older than me, but yet he ain't got no sense. Day 1, February of 2019, the main goal should be to set up an office that looks professional. Even if you have to get light, because he didn't have lights at first, go and get some battery power. I got some right over here. They plugged in, but all that batteries I can put in. Get some battery powered lights and get a professional, one room in these trap banners, just one. Stop fooling around with all this other foolishness. One room and set it up nice. Take $500, take $1,000 and get a nice desk. Take another $250 and get you a really nice chair, not broke down in mama closet chair that looked like it slaves used. Let me stop. I shouldn't say that. Frederick Douglass used to use that chair. Don't do that. Get some nice pictures. It really should have been Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey. I'm talking about really nice. Get FDMG. You see how we got the CCC? Get FDMG and just put it up there. And on your desk, you have a calendar, and then you have, I can't remember what that's called, the thing you carry around, you open up and you can, calendar, book, or whatever. Have a laptop, even though you ain't doing nothing on there, but just to look professional. Then have a little placard that says Dr. Umar Ifatunde. Or even fake it, Principal Tunde, whatever. And come on, dress in a suit and tie, look professional, have your hair cut nice, not looking up here like Bart Simpson, like you just rolled out of a cardboard box from behind the way from the gas station over there by the dumpster. That's not what I'm talking about. And be professional. Don't get up there talking about crushing cookies and Cinnabons and honey buns and baby mama this and baby mama that and evil vegan and don't do all that. Be professional and conduct yourself like a decent human being, an adult. That's all I'm saying. An adult. Be an adult. And from day 1, February of 2019, every day, or at least once a week, you live stream from there and update people on the progress as that money continues to come in. But that's not what Umar, he live streams out of mama closet. Over 7 years later. Put your snake tank in, because he said he got snakes. I'm not surprised by that, but you got snakes. I don't know where you keep these snakes. Your mama out? Don't tell me there's snakes in your mama closet. There ain't no room in there. Where you put it? By the way, God, little princess, where did Umar put his snakes? Is them snakes in his mama house? Them poor snakes. Don't tell me they ain't in trap bandos because they no air conditioning. You got to have the heat. Anyway. I hope he ain't got them snakes in the closet. That ain't right. Where's Peter? Anyway, there's no reason why after 7 years, Umar, I have one, Umar Elijah in Mama closet. I have one picture of Umar sitting at a desk. One picture. That's it. At a desk. And that was in 2017, I believe. Anyway, thanks, guys, little Prince. I apologize for going on. We closing out now. Daxter says he is filibustering. If you get what I'm talking about, yeah, I get where he's coming from historically, but he is still deflecting influence. Yeah. And again, we always try our best, and I always try my best to give Umar credit when he does good work or when he's saying things that are truthful. For instance, he said that they have inmates picking cotton. That's crazy. That's inhumane in my opinion. It's true. Okay, but it doesn't mean that it's only black people who are picking cotton. There's other groups of people too. But still, I think that's wrong in my opinion, given the history here in the United States of America. So Umar, he says some things from time to time, and I always try to give him credit to the best of my ability. But a lot of what he says is a bunch of bull jive, So we try to be fair. Thank you, Daxter. Okay, let me let him finish this point, and then we'll close this out. We're gonna get back to tomorrow to get more into this one, but we're probably gonna have to get into the finished part. Finish this on Monday. I don't plan on live streaming over the weekend. Here we go.
In rules that African people are not entitled to equal protection under the law, you will be stripped of your citizenship that you don't have anyway. And you will be returned to the state of a denizen. And if you are returned to the state of a denizen,
I'm not hearing anything.
You are basically a 21st century slave, which also means that the Dred Scott decision is back in full effect. I don't think y'all listening to me.
Okay, yeah, my audio's not coming.
I don't think y'all listening to me.
Let me just see if I can get this.
I said if the Supreme Court overturns the 14th Amendment for African people, black freedmen, equal protection under the law, if the Supreme Court overturns equal protection for black freedmen under the 14th Amendment, the Dred Scott case automatically becomes the ruling law for all black freedmen.
He keeps the snakes at the FDMG Aquarium. Come on now. Yeah. I don't think he ever said there was going to be an FDMG Aquarium, but I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. He did say there was going to be an FDMG Zoo, so maybe the aquarium is in the zoo. I don't know. Thanks, Derek. I'm going to let him finish his point.
In America. If you haven't read the Dred Scott case from cover to cover, you better read the Dred Scott case from cover to cover. Because if the Supreme Court overturns the 14th Amendment for black people, the Dred Scott case, the Dred Scott Supreme Court decision will become the ruling law for black freedmen. Let me read it to you. Dred Scott was born in the same county as the prophet Nat Turner.
Here he go. Let's stop it right here. We'll pick it up right here at the 32-minute mark tomorrow, and we'll get right on into it. I won't even do an intro song. We'll get right on it because we got to make some progress when we get because we got backlog stuff done with Umar, and he does this from time to time. Sometimes I think he does it on purpose. I could be wrong, but I think he does it on purpose just so that I can't keep up. So he'll be doing do videos back to back to back, and he knows it takes us 3 hours to do 10 minutes. So we'll pick back up tomorrow at the 32-minute mark, and hopefully we can make some progress. We'll probably have to get to the third section of this or the last third of this video on Monday. Okay, I want to thank everyone so much. Also, real quick, you guys can expect every single day I'm uploading segments of past live streams. And you guys can expect that for the rest of this month. And I want to get to the point where I'm uploading something every single day, but it won't just be from past live streams. It'll be on other topics. Okay, I'm working my way towards that. Okay, thank you guys again. Everyone decided to Cookie Crush chat. Thank you guys for tuning on in. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you hit that like button because it helps to get this video onto the algorithm. Our goal was 400. We smashed that, and then we was 500. We got that too. Thank you guys so much. Thanks to the moms for handling business And everyone who sent in super chats, it was a gang of them today. Thank you. I really appreciate the support. I really do. Okay. I don't take it for granted. The Lord give, Lord take it. Stay humble. Have the spirit of appreciation. Okay. All right. We'll be back tomorrow with another live stream. And shout out to everyone inside of the Cookie Crush chat. And as we always do. All righty. Yeah, shout out to the mods, y'all. Soul power. Thanks, Afro Punk. Yeah, we have a good time. Thank you, Natural Living Lifestyle.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming.
You so welcome. You are all so welcome.
FDMG is coming.
I appreciate y'all tuning on in. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for y'all.
Thanks,
CJ.
FDMG, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
I remember that. We used to say that back in the day. Thanks, Amira. Yeah, good night, Coco. Give the puppies a hug for me if you don't mind, all right?
It's coming.
Akilo, Laura.
It's coming.
All right, Dr. Francisca. Good night, USA. Good morning, UK. Oh, you wanted Snow Bunny love? Oh, remind me if you show up tomorrow. Remind me, I'll pull it up.
FDMG is coming. Thought this personality.
You so welcome.
Be twerking, it's twerking.
You so welcome, bro. Thanks, guys, Little Princess, for handling the mods. Again, I got to update the mods because a lot of the mods aren't here anymore. I'll take those wrenches away at some point, and then I'll hand them out to people who are here. Thank you, guys. I know I've been saying that for months, but I'll get to it at a certain point. Thanks, T. Jones. Okay, what's up, Black Mario? Good to see you. And shout out to Salute Information Man. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow with another live stream. Please, everyone, Alakar, thank you so much. You guys still going with it, huh? Please enjoy the rest of your evening. And as always, listen, I love y'all. Hey, you guys bring so much joy to my life. We have such a wonderful time. Okay, Kukra Chat's undefeated. I'll talk to y'all soon. Take care. Peace.